Cross-faded, bad they never made it. Bad so now they hating, they bad for how they played it. I'm just trying to make it, trying to hold my placement. Thanking God for the graces, watching for changing faces. Cross-faded, this is special occasion. Subjects hotter than Cajun, Andouille and Mason. Cross-faded, I'm just a duck in the pond. Shout out to Dorian, my reign has just begun. I be cross-faded, 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 cross-faded. Well, you ready? Let's start the show.
Question.
Cross-faded, cross-faded.
Question. Is it bad that I really love my theme song? Like, you got some shows that's like, like the theme song, and then like the Wonder Years. Help my friend. Like when you hear it, it's like, and it's Joe Cocker, and you hear it, and it's like, what would you do if I sang attitude? Like, I love my theme song that way. Is that vanity? Can I just play it again, just real quick?
Cross-faded, cross-faded,
Just real quick.
cross-faded, 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 cross-faded. Bad they never made it. Bad so now they hating, they bad for how they played it. I'm just trying to make it, trying to hold my placement. Thanking God for the graces, watching for changing faces. Cross-faded, this is special occasion. Subjects hotter than Cajun, Andouille and Mason. Cross-faded, I'm just a duck in the pond. Shout out to Dorian, my reign has just begun. I be cross-faded,
Cross-faded.
cross-faded,
Cross-faded.
cross-faded,
Cross-faded.
cross-faded,
Cross-faded.
cross-faded,
Cross-faded.
cross-faded,
Okay.
cross-faded, 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 cross-faded.
Thank y'all for tuning in.
Cross-faded, 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 cross-faded.
Thank y'all for allowing me to
Cross-faded, 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 cross-faded,
I can be asshole-ish sometimes. But thank you for being here. What's up? I'm your host, your boy, the dopest MC that you never heard of, Omega, none rhymes greater, live on the one and only Crossfaded. So if you have tuned in today, hopefully you have seen what the subject matter is of the day. We're going to be talking about a subject that's near and dear to a lot of MCs' hearts, a subject that's the Achilles heel of folks in the music industry, a subject that it speaks to the birth of an entire genre. And for the life of me, some people just cannot fathom it. Some people just cannot get over themselves. And I'll be honest with you, mainly when I see it, it's a lot of white people. It's a lot of white people. Much respect to all cultures, much respect to all people of all walks of life. But it's usually white folks that have an issue with this subject specifically. We're going to be talking about sampling. Yeah. So, but before we get there, please make sure that you like, subscribe, and share right now. Okay. Bring as many people as you can here, because we love to give information about music. We love to share knowledge. We love to help artists, musicians. We love to help people of all walks inside of music. It took me some years to sit down and kind of re-curate my myself as far as on the business side of music. And that's what Crossfaded is about. That's what my brand is about. That's what I'm about. The next thing is to be able to show you guys how to chart by using my own music, which is coming very soon. So please make sure that you like, subscribe, and share. And send this show out right now. If you're watching, please, send us a super chat on YouTube. Send us a super sticker. All of those funds are appreciated and needed for what we're doing here on this journey, which is sharing information that we gather from all the cracks and crevices of the internet. All right. So I'd like to first and foremost start with this important information. Our YouTube page has now crossed into the 15 million view mark. Thank you. Thank you. 15 million views, ladies and gentlemen, inside of a little over 300 videos. A lot of hard work, a lot of consistency, a lot of just tenacity, diligence, a lot of evergreen content, stuff that I use. I use my own videos and apply them to what I'm doing with my music and how I am moving into the promotional and marketing and all of those wings of running your record company. So, man, that's a really big feat. 15 million YouTube views. All right. We're just somewhere getting ready to cross into the 30,000 subscriptions mark. We'll probably be crossing that any day. I would say probably in the next couple of days, I think, or at the latest at the end of this week, we may be crossing over into 30,000 subscribers, which is also amazing. So thanks to everybody that has supported the page, that watches the videos, saves the videos, and finds them applicable to their music career and what they're doing with their music and what they're doing with their music business. All right. So thank y'all so much. Thank y'all. All right, enough of all that. All right. So we got a new music release as well. So if you are with any platforms such as Apple Music, Spotify, yeah, man, we got a new music release. And that music release is with our partners in crime, Kix Casserole. So we've teamed up with Kix Casserole to release, for the first time, a collaborative effort of a song. This song is super dope. And it also has a video.
I'ma stay fresh with Kix Casserole. Cop the latest with Kix Casserole. Nothing less than Kix Casserole. I'm at my best with Kix Casserole. I'ma stay fresh with Kix Casserole. Cop the latest with Kix Casserole. Nothing less than Kix Casserole. I'm at my best with Kix Casserole. Look, nigga, I'm dumb fly. Every time the sun rise, murder classrooms with my fresh since junior high. Fucking up the cafeteria, Columbia 11 highs. Chicks cutting hella eyes while I move with a smooth stride. North Carolina from head to toe, freshest that you know, and that remains from then on into tomorrow. So I'ma stay getting macking bitches, getting bigger, fresh from head to toe with Kix Casserole.
Big shout out to Jay, owner of Kix Casserole, good friend of mine. He knows why I'm laughing. Big shout out. Kix Casserole is a mobile shoe boutique, and they get a lot of dope releases. Um, they get releases that have been released. Well, they don't. That doesn't make sense. They get shoes that have been released for quite some time and hard to find kicks that they might have picked up through trades and other kinds of avenues. Just for instance, they got a really dope pair of Jordan 7 Olympics originals from like 2004 that are like mint condition. Um, so stuff like that. I don't have them in my possession right now, but they get all kinds of kicks. Hit them up on um, Instagram at Kicks Casserole, just like the logo looks, just like it says in the logo right there at Kicks Casserole. So hit them up on Instagram for all of your dope Jordan needs, Adidas needs as well. They do a lot with Yeezys. But that was awesome to release a song. It's been a while since I've released any music. Uh, that song is a pretty dope song, in my opinion, and it's also the first that I've done in terms of advertisement. So, shout out to Jay and the crew over at Kicks Casserole. I appreciate y'all. Check that song out. It's live right now on iTunes, Apple Music, Spotify, wherever you go to listen to your music. It's called Kicks Casserole Theme Song. So check it out. It's super dope. And it's also one of our commercials that we'll be rotating on a regular basis. So new music release out. Super dope. Yeah. Thank y'all for checking it out when you do get a chance to subscribe, or not subscribe, but stream that. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Something really dope that I want to share with you guys before we dive in. So for the first time, I have begun to acquire my own uh, set of drinking wear. It's really dope. Um, it isn't released yet, and you're looking at a picture of it. We'll be having coffee mugs. We'll be having shot glasses. We'll be having drinking glasses. We'll be having pint beer glasses. This is all coming soon. You're looking at the first of the collection, which of course is yours truly. Hence the coffee mug, which is my favorite, I believe, right now out of the collection. So shout out to a really dope company out of Florida. Um, they are extremely talented, ran by a young woman named Deanna. Um, the light is translucid. All right. LLC. And they're out of Florida. So check them out. They do great work for companies, individuals, but you're looking at the what's to come in that Omega brand collection with classic records. So yes, I'm drinking out of my own shit. That's dope. So I just drunk everything. So that's coming very soon. But yeah, man, that's really dope, really dope. And I love the glasses. I love all of the stuff, that we have um, in the collection. Let me show you another angle, because like some of this stuff is super dope. Like take a look at this coffee cup. Like it looks amazing. It's super dope. And that's the coffee cup up close. So yeah. But yeah, man, coming very soon. All right. All right. Um, so with that being said, we are going to jump into some stuff, man. Uh, a lot of stuff has been happening this week. that I'd like to talk about before we get into the issue at hand. Um, I'd like to talk about the death of PNB Rock. I'm sure that everyone is, keeping tabs on that and um, watching that situation kind of unfold. So yeah, I'd like to talk about that, man, and just kind of discuss like the dynamics of it because it's a very sad situation. Um, PNB Rock is a an artist. I'm not sure where he's from. I didn't gather that information. If you know where he's from, put it in the chat. Let me check with some of the folks in our comments too. Um, yeah, we got Melissa Thomas. Nope. Thanks for the second play. Okay, those are older comments. Congratulations. Thank you, Melissa Thomas. Cheryl Thomas. Good afternoon, Omega. We love you. We love you too. That's mom indeed. Our street correspondent. Oh, he is my street correspondent is actually in a hurricane. There's a hurricane going on right now in Florida. I think it's Hurricane Ian. I totally spaced it. I didn't know what time it was coming, but I knew it was coming, and my family's out there, so I'm gonna have to keep a as close as the eye as I can while I'm in broadcast, making sure they're okay. Um, okay, all right. Well, you guys stay safe out there, and I love y'all. Um, Corey Rosdo, our street correspondent, says keep on pushing, trying to watch during this hurricane. Um, and we got in a 13. I'm not sure what he means by what they got. Oh, what they got in the 13. They got a few things in the 13, man. I had to get the list and send you that list, man. Speaking of Kicks Casserole, because again, I'm a little late getting to the comments. Um, and where did you get that picture? What picture is that? If you could tell me what picture that we're referring to here. Okay. All right. Um, so yeah, prayers to my family right now that are down there in Florida dealing with the hurricane. And back to PNB Rock. This young gentleman was at a Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles, and I guess that he was uh, approached by a guy who came in there and um, just put a gun to him and asked him for his jewelry. I guess he refused to give his jewelry up, and at which point he was shot right there at the table while he was eating with another young lady. And yeah, so breaking news about this particular situation. They did just arrest a 17-year-old today. This was hours ago, as a matter of fact. So they arrested a 17-year-old, and uh, I guess that the 17-year-old's dad bears some kind of responsibility because the dad takes PNB Rock, or I'm sorry, takes the 17-year-old and drives him to where PNB Rock is eating at the Roscoe's. So they got the son. Now they're trying to get the dad. So yes, it's just a sad and sloppy situation, man. Yeah, it's pretty bad. I just want to say about this situation right here. I studied it a little bit. I seen quite a few exchanges that PNB Rock had online. In one particular exchange, there was one brother that was like super cold, and he was just like, "I'm gonna make you eat those words." And I didn't take the video because I didn't want to put it on here and you know, I'm a firm believer in street shit staying in the street. Um, and a lot of times when it comes to these young guys, they bring the street shit over into the music. They try to blend the two, and sometimes the lines get blurred when it comes into dealing with entertainment and what's going on in the street. So that's why you have things like this happening. You got a girl sitting up texting and posting where they're eating at and in real time, you know. Um, and here's the result. This guy was on the internet in two recent videos, uh, talking about how he's unjackable, how he's not going to get robbed, and how you know he doesn't give a fuck what people think about him coming to LA or wherever without checking in, and checking in is something that has over the last couple years since the 6ix9ine situation become something that's been um, you know uh, a thing that's really been an issue. So meaning when you come to a city that's not yours and you're an entertainer and you're coming to make rounds in the city, you're coming to do shows, you're coming to do whatever dealing with your music, that you're not corresponding with uh people or an individual from that town that has leverage of some kind. For example, if you're gonna go to Louisiana, and you're gonna do a big show, you need to possibly check in with Master P or Baby. You go to Tennessee, and I'm imagining Yo Gotti. And the brothers like to look at it like it's some punk shit, but the fact of the matter is, that's not your city. So, I don't know the ramifications of the check-in situation, like if dudes are extorting dudes or not. I doubt it, but it is possible. Anything's possible. But it's more so about respect than anything. So, if I'm from, Philadelphia, and I pull up to Texas and I do a big show at some big, establishment or arena, and I don't have anything to say to Jay Prince, I mean, you asking for a little trouble. I've done a show in Texas before, and it was a small show. It was like an intimate house party show at this guy's house, and it was like the guy had like a mansion. It was a nice little setup, little mini mansion, and had the guest house in the back and swimming pool, and had a stage at the swimming pool, and it was a dope show, like super dope. Had a open bar out there by the pool. It was just super dope. Um, I've been there and did a show there, and a fella popped up from Jay Prince's camp, and I don't know who the guy was. I wasn't running the tour, so the guys who was running the tour, they handled it. Excuse me, they handled it. They spoke with him and got the information and all of that. But I was just like, damn, one of Jay Prince's guys really pulled up, and this was on the tour back in 2017, 2018, the Hard Work Pays Off tour, of which it was a tour with like myself and six or seven other artists. And I was like, damn, like somebody from Rap a Lot really pulled up over to this motherfucker, man. Like, it's not a game. Like, it's not a game. You will get seen about coming to somebody else's town, and just being, this disregarding their rules, or ignoring, their formation in their city. So I think PNB Brock was challenged with that. He was challenged with other things as well. Guys, looking at him in a certain fashion. And, now the brother's gone. all of that bickering on the internet, all of that, tough talking, talking to one guy, you want to be big P and got his chain, and the dude was like, straight up, man, I'll take that chain, and P was like, you a bitch. And he was like, yeah, I'm gonna make you eat that. And now the man is dead, like that's crazy. That's crazy, you little niggas gotta understand business when you in this music game. And I noticed that that's a big Achilles heel for the up and comers, the little niggas, Um, you guys get out here and you're navigating through these corridors blindly. You thinking that it's all a game. Watch the videos that I've posted on the Omega Classic record pages. Videos like what's his name, Little Yachty. I'm just having fun, bro. Like I'm just out here. Simple question. What do you want from hip hop, and what are you gonna give back to hip hop? I was just having fun, bro. You know what kind of contract you got? I don't know, bro. Chill out. Don't even know if he got a 360. Don't know if he, got a, any kind of you got a production deal or whatever kind of contract. Don't even know. That shit's not cool. That's not funny. This is your life. Look at this man. And hold on. You want to know what's crazy? It ain't crazy. You want to know what's real? So he gets murdered, right? What does that say? Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles open for business 24 hours after P&B Rock tragic situation. Like they serving chicken and waffles 24 hours after the niggas get shot at the table. I personally would not want to go and eat at the restaurant again. But they open for business 24 hours later. I'm sure they probably serving chicken at the same table that he got shot at too. Switch the chairs out if they had cloth on them. They was wood, even better. Take the chair to the back, bleach wipe it down. Worst case, you might have to restain it. Let you sit in an old bloody P&B Rock chair. Get you some chicken and waffles. This shit's insane. What can I say? So this is how real it is. Stop playing. God has been good enough to give us this tool that we can use to navigate these economical corridors and get to the other side of life, the wealthy side. Hip hop wasn't even supposed to make it this far. They told us we wasn't nothing. You got Grandmaster Flash coming out with the message in the early 70s telling you about pissing elevators and pissing hallways and in the projects and broken glass everywhere. They thought we was a joke. They thought we was going to end up like punk rock, was what they thought. We was hanging together, punk rock and hip hoppers. When you go back to New York in the history, they came up together in the same clubs. So they thought we wasn't going to make nothing. They thought we was going to die out just like that, just like disco. Now, hip hop is the major genre, the biggest, highest grossing genre in the world. You can't get away from it. You turn the TV on, the hip hop commercial, and you Tide. Tide got a hip hop song. Yogurt commercials with hip hop. Incredible edible egg, the fake eggs with hip hop songs in the back of the commercial. You can't get away from it. It has shaped America, just like many things in Black culture have shaped America. Everything we live and breathe and consume started with Black culture. Period. Even classical music. It's a fact. Do your research, do your homework. So you brothers got to understand, you got a responsibility. Just because, you a youngster and, everything seems free range Everything seems like it's, on the internet and it ain't real. That don't give you the right to, I mean, you can do it if you want to function as if you don't have to, answer to anyone or pay any kind of consequence. But here's the consequences right here in front of you. Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles serving chicken after you're over your dead body, little nigga. It doesn't get any realer than that. And it makes me inflamed. I thank God that I didn't sign a contract to do this, years ago, because I wouldn't have been ready. I would have been just like them. I would have been making terrible decisions on a whim. I would have been thinking, things didn't have the meaning or as much value as they have because I'm next to these millionaire shoulders beside me when my money has been loaned in advance. Man. It's an old song Devin the Dude and Scarface came out with. It's one of my favorite songs. It's called Get Smart. Get smart. You niggas better watch your ass. Get smart. Ain't no telling how long you gonna last. Man, you gotta think. Use this big ball that's 3 feet above your ass. So rest in peace to P&B Rock. I'm so sorry to his family. Such a crude and brutal way to die over a plate of chicken and waffles and fruit. It's disgusting. So, but keep your eye on that situation. More and more has come out. Just like hours ago, they caught the teenager, and next they're going to get the dad. The dad could have been the dude in the video that I saw that was just so cold with his demeanor. So, but rest in peace to P&B Rock. I'm gonna run over to the comments and see what folks are saying. Thank you for the help. Corey Rosdo, our street correspondent, says he was from Germantown, Pennsylvania, which is like a suburb of Philadelphia. Wow. So you're in Pennsylvania, you from Pennsylvania, and you come into California, and you just running through California streets. Like California ain't got no Crips and no Bloods, no Latin Kings, no Grape Street gangsters. You tripping. Like you ain't listened to people like Nipsey telling you about Slauson, telling you about all of that shit. You just big P&B Rock. You flexing. You tripping. Even Game, the rapper The Game, who's in a feud with Eminem right now, rapped in a song. They played the clip. They went back years ago to where he was talking about how people from California know not to eat at that Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. Like, ignore the signs, right? And keep doing what you want to do. Okay, then here's what you pay. Jerron Williams, we need to come together and stop the black on black senseless violence, period. I feel you, Jerron. I don't like to call it black on black, even though that's what it is. But it's that way because when you look at an area, a demographic of poor people, they're going to have other poor people that are like them around them. So you take the ability of providing a good economic situation for that group of people, jobs out of the vicinity, high unemployment rates, and all these people are living in these tenements next to each other. Well, they're not going to leave the area to go and commit crime. The likelihood of them committing crime is right there in that same neighborhood that they suffer in. So I feel like that doesn't make it black on black. The black on black terminology is a media terminology, and they prefer to use that because it kind of consolidates the issue to just black people instead of it being an issue that really speaks to demographics. It speaks to politics. who made tenements. Niggas didn't make tenements. We were banned from areas of town, you know, in the 40s and 50s, when you start to look at how residential districts and things were put together. Niggas couldn't go to certain areas unless they were working in those certain areas. In my city, you couldn't be downtown unless you were like going to school with Crispus Attucks. So then you had a reason to be down there. And then the kids had to hurry up and get on the bus and get their ass on out of downtown. Crispus Attucks kids couldn't even play basketball against other white schools in Indianapolis, Indiana, let alone live in the downtown vicinity. So you had to hurry up and get yourself on that bus and get on back to where they bus you out where your people at. So it's history. And again, like I said, we didn't build tenements. When it comes to land, the rules. If you know history, when it comes to land, the predominant legislation for purchasing land was to be a white male, because women couldn't purchase land in a lot of areas. Women couldn't vote. Women's rights were non-existent. So you had to be a white male and affluent, well-to-do, and you could purchase land. So them guys that developed tenements, they was older white men that built these places to put blacks. They put them all in this corner of the town and let them all deal with each other in their suffrage in that area. And guess what? No jobs and limited, funds, and niggas start robbing each other. Tupac said it best. He said, "Didn't nobody want to be in the hood." He said, "There's more people in the hood scared to live in the hood than it is robbers, thugs, and thieves," which is correct. So, Jerron Williams, we are too powerful in numbers to be focused on killing each other. You're so right. You're right, brother. You're right. So I can only pray and hope that, our mentality, I don't know. This is a problem that it seems like nobody has the answer for. It seems like the people that did have the answer, they killed them. They took them on out of here. Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Medgar Evers. It seems like they wanted to go ahead and eliminate them. You can go all the way back to my man Marcus Garvey. They wanted to get them out the picture. It's been a government agenda to eliminate Black empowerment, Black movements for a long time now, thanks to the gay, secretly closet gay J. Edgar Hoover. They should rip his name off the FBI building. He couldn't even come out the closet and let them know he was gay for real. What does that say about him? But he want to keep a foot on the neck of Black people. Yeah. But yeah, man. Thank you, Jerron Williams. Thank you, Corey Rosdell. Show Thomas says on the mugs. The question earlier, where did you get the picture? That picture is who, little lady. It's me. But yeah, I made the picture up, and she did a wonderful job. She was able to just, do a wonderful job with it. Shout outs to Miss Deanna. The lights are translucent. The light is translucent, LLC, excuse me. So yeah, man. We are too powerful in numbers to be focused on killing each other. We are. Reminds me of Jim Morrison, 5-1, baby. 1 in 5. No one out here gets out alive. You got the guns, but we got the numbers. Gonna win, you will take it over. Come on. I believe it. But we gotta believe it. So but yeah, PNB Rock, rest in peace. I hope they find that 17-year-old's father, and then they can put them both in jail together, and y'all can make it a family affair. Another artist that died over the past couple weeks ago, Pat Stay. Pat Stay, if you don't know who Pat Stay is, can we pull a picture up of him? I don't think we have a picture of him at the ready. My apologies. That slipped my mind to get a picture of Pat Stay. Pat Stay is a famed battle rapper in out of Canada. He done a lot of work in some of the battle rings. I forgot the name of them. A really prominent battle league, and he was actually in a he was in a situation with a knife fight of some sort. I don't know. It's kind of, they had like limited information on it. So I think he tried to intervene and stop this fight, and somebody ended up pulling out a knife, and he gets stabbed, and whatever the case, man, we lost a tremendous rapper, tremendous, like his rap intelligence is just stupid, like through the ceiling, and when you're dealing with the battle realm, you're really dealing with rap intelligence. Like you're dealing with guys who are extremely witty. They come up with these crazy lines. I know in some of the battle rap um engagements that it's rehearsed. The guys have worked for months leading up to the show and all of that. But there's some occasions where it requires for them to uh to be off the top of the dome, and to be at the ready off of a whim with it. And I believe Pat Stay was one of the best with doing that. I'm gonna share my screen right here so you guys can see a picture of Pat Stay. But yeah, man, Pat Stay is um great guy, man. Great guy. Um that's him right there to my right. So sorry that I gotta show it this way. Um but yeah, Canadian battle rapper Pat Stay gone at I think 36. So God bless the Stay family. Eminem had great words to say about Pat Stay, which was wonderful to see. Eminem is a artist who doesn't deal a lot in just interviews and blog conversations or anything like that. But yet he had these awesome words to offer up to Pat Stay and the Stay family. So shout out to Eminem for that, man. And um, yeah, shout out to the Stay family. Not shout out, but God bless to the Stay family. And yeah, Canada took a big L, a big L in this situation for sure. So God bless Pat Stay. And what can I say? Hip hop is one of the most dangerous jobs on the planet. If you ask me, right next to being a police officer. So, and if you're a cop and you're on here watching this, I mean, you can kiss my ass. You know what I'm saying? Uh, these brothers is dying a mile a minute. Look in Chicago, and brothers are, what was last summer's average? It was like I don't know, 600 people a week or some kind of crazy shit like that. Like really, and there was young brothers and dying hand over fist. Like seriously, those were real numbers. So yeah, rap is one of those dangerous jobs in America. Period. Damn near more dangerous than coal mining, being underground and possibly getting trapped and inhaling dangerous gases. And yeah, man, it's not a game. These guys are really at war in their cities out here. So Jerron Williams, we still have leaders out here that can help to cultivate a positive change. We just need to start a movement, save ourselves. I agree. Jerron, and I hope I'm saying your name right. I think it's Jerron, Jewron. Um, One of the reasons I wanted to step in front of the camera in this form because I feel like I have something to say. And I feel like uh as far as it goes, being an artist, when you look through history, a lot of our artists, which have been great artists, black artists, they weren't. A lot of them weren't just artists. You know, some of them, were evangelists of sorts. You find that with our athletes as well. There was a duality with black athletes and black artists going back into the 70s. Muhammad Ali wasn't just a boxer. Like he was a poet. He was also uh, a civil rights leader. He was one of the people that, you know, with the schools and he talked to entire lecture halls and explained to people why he made the comment, the Viet Cong ain't never called me no nigger. You know, um, he challenged a lot of that Jim Crow racist theory in those time frames. So, you know, um, Nina Simone, she wasn't just a singer. You know, she made music that moved the world. She made people, look at things in this dark light and understand what the challenges were with being black in America. Um, we didn't have the luxury to just sing into a microphone, being who we were then. And I think the problem is a lot of these young brothers don't recognize, you don't have that luxury now either. So, yeah, man, I agree. Facebook user says they need to pay reparations. I agree. I agree. Funny part about reparations, um, I've seen the government do so much for uh, other cultures, for the Jewish culture. I've seen them do so much for the Native American culture. But when it comes to niggas, well, fee, five, four figure, they hate niggas. We the last, the least, the forgotten. So I feel that, Jerron hits it on the head, with the ideal of us, being responsible for this. It's in our hands. Our design complicates that though. We were designed in the slavery periods to be combative with each other. We were designed to um, fight each other. We were designed to hate each other. Um, so that makes it complicated when you need this group of people to come together that has a self-hatred for itself, that doesn't really see itself for the value that it should. And respect from other cultures when it has such a lack of respect for itself. Um, it's a lot of work that needs to be done here. But I feel that you're right, brother. Asher P, hello, what's up? Greetings to Crossfaded family. What's up? That's my boy right there, AP. Shout out to AP. AP, if you could drop the name of your barber shop in this chat. AP is a great barber out of Indianapolis, Indiana. A great friend of mine I've known since high school. A great man, and he's one of the dopest barbers in town. I feel so tacky right now that I can't think of the name of his shop because he just told me. But it's a new shop. He just opened it up. He's his own boss. He is the owner. Shout out to that brother for doing that. Gotta get an applause for another black businessman in the community. Yes, sir. Shout out to AP. AP, make sure that you drop that shop name in the chat. All right. Yes, they need to pay reparations. Yes, we need to take control of this. Yes, we're more responsible than others. No Caps Barber Shop. at 8256 East Washington. So if you're in Indianapolis, Indiana, okay, and you need a fade, you need a lineup, you got braids, and you need a cut, you need to line up under your braids. You got them braids where they on the top and not on the sides. They do it all in there. That man specifically will do it all. He's one of the dopest, and he's my friend. Okay, AP, Asher P. Look him up. No Caps Barbershop. That's 8256 East Washington Street. 8256 East Washington Street. All right, go in there and ask for AP. And no caps. You know what I'm saying? Get you a nice cut. Get yourself together. You know, brothers is out there looking bad right now. What you doing, man? You're sitting on the couch. You're not doing nothing with your life. You go to school, man. Get your Everest commercial. But yeah, look up No Caps Barbershop. All right, 8256 East Washington Street. Shout out to AP. Thanks, brother, for coming in here. Love you to death. Appreciate you always. We're gonna get you a little commercial on here. All right, we're gonna take a quick break, you guys, and when we come back, we're gonna talk about this thing that makes people so angry. Record sampling. You know? Stick around.
Hit up CWK Promotions for any of your management needs. Promotions, booking, studio sessions, feature help, models for your music videos, and much more. Hit up Chris Kleiss with CWK Promotions. Booking from 15 to 30% cheaper. Models, $50 to $500 for your videos. Promotions of any kind. Studio sessions ranging from $35 to $175. And features from $10,000 to $250K. Hit up CWK Promotions now.
Grilled chicken.
Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. That was a mistake. We'll be right back. I hit it wrong, but
I'ma stay fresh with Kicks Casserole. Cop the latest with Kicks Casserole. Nothing less than Kicks Casserole. I'm at my best with Kicks Casserole. I'ma stay fresh with Kicks Casserole. Cop the latest with Kicks Casserole. Nothing less than Kicks Casserole. I'm at my best with Kicks Casserole.
Look, nigga, I'm dumb fly. Every time the sun rise, murder classrooms with my fresh since junior high. Fucking up the cafeteria, Columbia 11 highs. Chicks cutting hella eyes while I move with a smooth stride. North Carolina from head to toe, freshest that you know, and that remains from then on into tomorrow. So I'ma stay getting figures, macking bitches, getting bigger, and fresh from head to toe with Kicks Casserole.
Thought you stopped me?
See why you did this one.
6-0, I'm not no towering inferno, but I am invincible, smooth criminal with a microphone. You Pat Mahomes, I'm Tom Brady type, greatness like Messiah type. I am Mike, I'm on my Nas. It's like I break mics in half. At last, a champion you can believe in. I'll be served a mattress you can keep sleeping. And on the weekends, niggas is burning out, chasing clout, spending dollars. I tighten my belt up and straighten my collar. A businessman, I stay prepared for tomorrow and keep a 357 with hollows. Don't beg or borrow. I got my own 8th grade, self-made. When one of my songs get played, I get paid, nigga.
Long time coming. Long time. So you thought I had stopped, right? Nigga, we here now.
I come home with cold hard cash, count the money, wrap the rubber band round the stacks, lock it up, kick off my shoes and clothes, then I crash, prepare for tomorrow, another day. Your mathematics, automatics, money tactics, niggas bragging, bitches acting, that's just the life I live. 1 minute you on top of your shit, next minute you got a gun in your ribs, that's how it is. I'm Mega Man, kiss my pinky ring, I'm Naptown's Don, or call me a miraculous phenomenon. I'm grade A, like Ruth Chris Filet Mignon. Every day I slang work from night until the morn. I gotta hustle, I'm neck deep up in the struggle. While you at home with your girlfriend playing snuggle, I'm on the highway playing smuggle in the bubble, making money like the Tuttles, all mind over muscle. Don't get it twisted though, I keep a 9 for a muzzle. I'm always watching, the type of nigga that never trust you. Don't make me touch you, I will bust you. I'm the future nigga, Eon flux you, loaded lux you. You bitch, nigga. Goats, big baby. You talking to the goat. Thought you stopped me?
Cross-faded, 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 cross-faded. Bad they never made it. Bad so now they hating. They bad for how they paid it. I'm just trying to make it, trying to hold my placement. Thanking God for the graces, watching for changing faces. Cross-faded, this is special occasion. Subjects hotter than Cajun, Adule and Mason. Cross-faded, I'm just a duck in the pond. Shout out to Dorian, my reign has just begun. I be cross-faded, 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 cross-faded.
Sorry about that. I think my mic was off. All right. AP says, formerly the Twins Barbershop, No Caps Barbershop, 8256 East Washington Street. That's No Caps Barbershop, 8256 East Washington Street. I remember the Twins. They've been around for years, cutting hair, long time. So that's a great, man, like they say in real estate, location, location, location. That's great, AP. Street correspondent Corey Rostel says, wow, that is so true. Yes, brother. It is. It is. All right. So the definition of the day is sampling. Record sampling. Record sampling is a statistical sampling method for it's an audio sampling method that is the process of transforming a musical source into a digital file. Digital audio recording does this by taking samples of the audio source along the sound waves at regular intervals. So that's like a technical, kind of definition. Some producers will lift an entire chorus from another song. So here's more of the lay definition. Others might just take a drum beat and slice it up, taking just the kick and the snare, for example, to suit their own musical needs. Other popular sections to sample include vocals and bass lines. So that's the definition of sampling. Basically, when you take a sound, or it could be a chorus or a hook from one song, put it in another, and a whole nother song construction, and then basically making another composition with that piece that came from somewhere else. All right. So that is record sampling. The entire hip hop genre was built on record sampling. Okay. The entire hip hop genre. All right. It was built on the idea of taking a break inside of a song. They would call it the break. In some points of the song, there would probably be this really dope part where there were no words, and they could take that couple of seconds and then loop it. And then you had an entire song from it. It was this loop that just continued to repeat over and over. Okay? Your introduction into hip hop sampling comes from one of the greatest DJs ever and the godfather of hip hop, DJ Kool Herc with a K. And that's 1973, Sedgwick Avenue, all right, in New York. This is where it begins. This is where it starts. This brother put speakers in a window and was just banging out the window. At a house party, was charging girls like 25 cents, brothers 50 cents. And you come and party. And he was taking James Brown records and taking the breaks in those records and extending them into beats. And dudes and girls will come dance all night long to this new form of music where this man was taking these slices out of these records and effectively making his own looped compositions. Shout out to DJ Kool Herc. If it were not for him, we would not have hip hop. If you're rapping and you're doing music and you don't know who Kool Herc is and you're in this genre, you should be ashamed of yourself. This thing started in the Bronx, and this man is the godfather. Woo. Shout out to DJ Kool Herc. All right. So, what brought me to make this a subject was I had a post, okay, and the post was this post right here. I'll remove that title down there so you can see the number work of the post. I posted this on looks like July 27th, and this is on Facebook. So these are the numbers and the activity that it done on one platform. This post, by the way, is on probably 7 different pages, 5 different platforms, TikTok, Twitter, etc. But on Facebook, it garnered this attention that I really was intrigued about. P. Diddy has to pay Sting $2,000 a day forever for an unauthorized sample. All right. That picture was taken yesterday. So that post is around 1.7 million views today. Getting ready to roll over into 2 million very soon. So what I was getting a lot of with this post was a lot of people coming on there saying, simple, make your own music. Oh, here's a solution. Stop taking from real artists. Oh, Sting is a real artist and he should be charging Puffy more per day. So here's a couple of things that those folks have wrong in that equation. The song is Sting's song, Every Breath. And the song is Puffy's Offspring, which is I'll Be Missing You, I believe, the tribute to Notorious B.I.G. First of all, Sting is not taking the money out of Puffy's pocket. The song generates its own income. So the song lands on playlists that are marketed, that are on these platforms. The song is popularized from its history. The song has Biggie Smalls attached to it at the hip. And the world knows of Biggie Smalls as one of the greatest MCs of all time. So the song is generating its own income. Sting is not reaching in Puffy's pocket and taking thousands of dollars a day. All right. So therefore, the song is a draw for Puff because Puff doesn't make an income from it, but what he does get is a lot of attention from it. And he does get fanfare from it. People are not listening to that song for Sting. They're listening to that song to remember Biggie and to reminisce about Biggie Smalls' brand and the Bad Boy brand. You don't go listen to I'll Be Missing You to think about Sting's Every Breath. All right? So that's one thing that you guys got wrong on that post. Another thing that was interesting and it began to be a peeve for me is all of the white people that will come on to the post and make the comments, as I said earlier, simple solution, make your own music. Simple solution, don't take from real artists. Listen, anybody that can create a hit song is a real artist. All right? Because they had to construct that music and that idea and then bring it to life for you to listen to. Everybody can't make a song, even though when you turn the radio on, it sounds like every Tom, Dick, and Harry can make a song. How long do those songs last that you hear on the radio? Do they live with you over the years? Do they have staying power? Do they pull other emotional elements out of you? Do they motivate you? Okay. So, nonetheless, they were able to get those songs popularized and garner some kind of traction, a deal even, and get them on the radio. But it took work for them little guys to come up with that stuff and to create that. And the average layperson cannot do that. The average layperson cannot, ask your mom, ask your dad, hey dad, rap the song, rap something. Your dad's not just gonna start spitting bars. Your mom ain't just got a notebook full of bars and songs. So don't diminish hip hop to the level of, oh, well, anybody can do that, or oh, make some real music. Hip hop is as real as it can get. Hip hop is the genre that began by expressing pain, poverty, and displeasures with the environment that a group of people with no voice had to survive and thrive in and figure out, how to eat and how to make it through the days. Hip hop was a tool for people to be able to bring eyes over into this territory that ignored this area, a place where police were allowed to fester with brutality. a place where kids in elementary school carry PTSD with them every day to and from school. Hip hop is birthed out of that. Puffy is a child from the 70s era. So Puffy comes in the picture, and he's born in like 71 or 70. Puffy comes in the picture as a you can basically say he's a child of the post Black Renaissance era. So if you don't know about the Harlem Renaissance time frame and all those jazz musicians, where in Harlem, they were playing all these cabarets and all these, you got your folks like, Billie Holiday, jazz, singer, and Dizzy Gillespie and folks from that time, and great speakers like my man, I can't think of his name. He's one of the great speakers of that time. His name will come to me, but that's that Harlem Renaissance era, and Puffy is basically an offspring of that time, like living in the same vicinity, a child of the period after that era. So when you get through the Harlem Renaissance era, all of these things begin to diminish. These musicians that played, all of these instruments, and the schools, in fact, that taught a lot of the musical courses, and they undergo a change of guard, where these schools begin to close down. They begin to shut out all of these programs. Harlem and other parts of New York begin to really crumble around the people. You go back to the 70s era and look at pictures throughout New York. Some of the places in New York look like Iraq. Like, we're talking like demolished buildings in rubble all up and down the street, leveled, like somebody dropped an atom bomb in their town. So, these children come along, and gone are the days where dad is in the living room playing a saxophone. Nas, he's one of those children. His father, Aludera, touted as one of the best trumpet players. I believe it's trumpet. If it's not, it's sax. That's what Nas's daddy was doing. So Nas was in his bedroom writing and listening to his father in the living room playing a saxophone throughout the night and the day, going and performing and shit. And Nas will be writing about what he sees emerging outside. So he's a child of that era. So, the system around these kids diminishing, crumbling, just like it looks outside. The schools closing down. These resources where these Black kids could once go and learn an instrument, taken from them. The ones before them that mastered those instruments succumbing to heroin and dying from overdoses and drug use. People like Lena Horne. They took her performance cabaret, her cabaret card. She wasn't allowed to perform, and that effectively killed her. Because you had J. Edgar Hoover mad at her because of strange fruit. I'm sorry, that's Billie Holiday. Put the woman in the hospital, and what did J. Edgar Hoover do? He said he called the hospital and told them don't serve her no methadone, so she can get through the heroin, the heroin effects of trying to get off of the drug. This is your government. Any opportunity they got to kill us, they would kill us. Because our voices were so loud. Because we were so prominent. So once again, here comes the 70s era where they've taken so much from us, taken these tools, that were accustomed to being in our homes, pianos, trumpets, saxophones. And then a kid stumbles on a turntable. Kool Herc. And he's like, well, this sounds cool. Let me. Oh. I'm scratching up my father's shit. Let me. And the next thing you know, hear the drummer get wicked. You know what I mean? Rest is history. We find a way out of no way. The greatest culture on earth. You're looking at it. You're looking at it. Resilient, triumphant, tenacious. We find a way when there's nothing. So this is where sampling comes from. Now, let me enlighten you. That's in terms of hip hop. But sampling has an even deeper history than that. In the early 20th century in New Orleans and beyond, jazz musicians often sampled little bits of melodies, hooks, licks, or progressions from their peers' compositions in their live performances. This was, of course, done out of respect and admiration for the composer as a sort of homage. This borrowing of bits of music became a popular practice and a kind of inside joke between the musicians. It was a crowd pleaser and added more fun to live events. This is the early 1900s when they was live playing everything and sampling from the guy that they had just heard at another club or on stage before them. And it was seen as homage. So here's your roots with sampling. Before we even think about the Harlem Renaissance or before we even get to DJ Kool Herc's turntables. All right? 1940s. Led by French composer Pierre Schaeffer, this genre of music was more like sound art or a study of sound and used pre-recorded samples which were then manipulated, looped, pitch shifted, sped up or slowed down, repurposed, etc. This was made possible and highly accessible by the invention of the tape recorder, which gave virtually anybody free rein to manipulate recorded sounds and use them as a means of expression. Needless to say, a very important step in the history of sampling. It's 1940s. Get into the 49-56 era, an instrument called the Chamberlin. This instrument, invented and developed by Harry Chamberlain, was the precursor of the better known mellotron. It was an electromechanical keyboard which triggered tape loops and many different pre-recorded instruments. There was a very limited amount of them made due to high production costs. These days, they are rare collector's items and worth a pretty penny. It's a machine that has about 2 boxes and 2 wooden boxes. The front box got keys on it. And the back box, it's all mechanics back there. The mellotron, 1960s, 1970s. Bill Franson, an inventor, decided to take the production of the Chamberlin, the machine we just spoke about, to the next level by shipping 2 of them to the UK in 1962, where he made a deal with Bradmatic Ltd. to mass produce them under a new name, Mellotron. They started by manufacturing the Mark I Mellotron, a clone of the Chamberlin. This later evolved into the Mellotron M400, and in 2007, the M4000, a digital version called the M4000D, which digitized tape loops. Yeah. And then comes hip hop in the 70s and the 80s. DJs from the South Bronx, NYC, took a totally different approach when it came to sampling. They would create their samples live with skillful vinyl record manipulation instead of using actual isolated samples. All right. This revolutionized the hip hop style and culture. I would rather say created. Break beats, like we spoke about the breaks. That's James Brown. With your bad self. With your bad self. That's the break. Break beats were most commonly sampled and looped because they provided a monumentous base for rapping and dancing. Yeah. Then you get the rolling into the first digital samplers, the monophonic digital sampler. Stevie Wonder used that in 79 on his album Journey Through the Secret Life of Plants. And you keep on rolling and you come up on all the way into the 80s where finally the Akai comes into play. The Akai MPC. The MPC C60. That's what Dre used to make a lot of what he's made. I think Dre starts using the MPC sometime, and correct me if I'm wrong, put it in the comments, sometime dealing with the Chronic album. Maybe it's the album after, but I think it may be the album after. But the MPC becomes like Dre's go-to, weapon, where he creates, an onslaught of some of the greatest hip hop songs that you've ever heard by utilizing samples, like the Slim Shady. Hi, my name is what? My name is. That's a sample in there, So it's like a brief history of sampling being a part of the music mechanics and community ever since the 40s. Now, used for all kind of purposes, even as a joke, even as, like they said, taking licks and certain portions to pay homage. All right. So, but in the hands of a group of people that have been looked at a certain way, that have been outlawed from so many things historically, and quite frankly, are accustomed to being treated in this fashion, this group of people. In our hands, it's musical theft. We're not creative. Go and here's a solution. Make your own music. You can go to hell. Hell, hell. Because here's the fact of the matter. You should have told that to Elvis Presley, who has stolen so many songs. Stolen from people like Big Mama Thornton. You should have told that to a plethora of white artists who were stealing black music all throughout the 50s and 60s. The Beach Boys. Stealing riffs from people like, who did they steal from? They robbed my man. Damn, what's my man's name? He's classified as the godfather of rock and roll, by the way. But yeah, they stole his licks. He's in the Cadillac Records movie played by Mos Def. I hate that I can't think of his name right now. Let me see. I can't think of his name. But I want to say Chuck Berry. Chuck Berry. So Chuck Berry was robbed by the Beach Boys. That's that, that riff. They stole that from him. The new Elvis movie is pretty interesting. I was glad that they didn't over glamorize Elvis, and they really were honest about his musical thievery. And lo and behold, he would end up being robbed all the way to his death, by his management. And that sucks, but I mean, you never see in this new Elvis movie, Elvis pick up a pen and create anything versus, other movies about these, prolific singers, movies like the Queen movie, where you get to see the lead singer of Queen, conjure up all these ideas. You get to see how he came up with some of the songs that you hold near and dear. You don't see that with Elvis. Elvis ain't have an ink pen the whole movie. Only time he had a pen is when he signed that terrible ass contract in the beginning. You never see Elvis with a pen and a pad. What you do see Elvis doing is walking in clubs up and down Beale Street in Memphis and looking at different black artists performing and saying shit like, I'd love to play that song. What do you say? He told B.B. King, I'd love to play that. I'd love to go record that. He was eyeballing Little Richard's song, Tutti Frutti. I said, damn, he was gonna take Little Richard's song? I'd love to record that. Come on, man. You wouldn't have Elvis if it wasn't for black folks. He sat in the windows of some of the most obscure back alley, backwood juke joints and eyeball the styles and listen to the riffs and the chords and remember them. Got a guitar and played them through the years as a kid and then took his shot as a teenager. Elvis's whole persona was the fact that before he got to TV, before you could see him, he sounded like a black man. So everybody was like, we and this is according to the film. So, I take the film for face value. And I combine what I learned from the film and then all my historical information that I've learned. So I'm able to talk like this about it. So you have him working with a guy who worked for circuses for all these years. So the gimmick with Elvis was that he sounded black, but he was white. And the thing what people would say when they heard Elvis, they're not going to play that. They're not going to play no nagger on that stage. They're not going to play that nagger on. And then the catch will be, he's white. And then everybody, he's white? Oh. No. Yes. Shake his hips like a nigger too. So he was managed by a man who ran a circus, literally. Like the man was running tents of half man, half woman people. And Fuzzy Bear Man and all these weird, the woman with the beard and running all them, and then he had Elvis for live entertainment, the white chocolate rock and roller. And Elvis was an exhibit throughout his career, all the way to his death, all the way to the end. So you don't have Elvis Presley without having us. So you folks that came onto this post and you want to make remarks, I don't have your names in front of me because if I did, I would say your name. And I would post a link to this now under your comment and invite you. You're lucky that I can't do it because I would invite your ideas and your theories to come on board, and I would shatter them because history is on my side. So you folks that feel that rap is unoriginal, you folks that feel on that post that was interesting enough to trend up to close to 2 million views, you folks that feel that we're unoriginal people, we're the most original people on the planet. You guys never have questioned the thievery of your own musicians, of which you covet and hold close. You monumentalize their presence and their history, and you rug sweep their true actions and what they really stood for behind closed doors. Elvis was a great singer, but he was a thief with music. He was a pedophile. He traveled with a group of 13 and 12-year-old girls that he wrestled with an erection on a daily basis. This is your king. I'm sorry. So, what do you want me to say? And behind Elvis, during that movie, during his come up, B.B. King. He looking in the window, oh, there's B.B. King. I gotta meet B.B. King. Like, that's who enamored him. That's who people like Mahalia Jackson. That's who he was modeling himself after. You know? Those are the folks that intrigued him. Those are the folks that, you know, he was emulating. So, you know, you got to think twice before you tell us about music theft. You know, the thing that I could say about Puff and that song was that it was so dope that he took one of the dopest MCs ever and immortalized him in a song with a sample of a rock and roll record. And he was able to get you to not even think about that rock and roll record as you listen to the sample inside of his song. When I hear I'll Be Missing You, I do not hear Sting, even though I'm listening to Sting. When I hear Puffy's song, I do not think every breath you take. I hear Faith Evans, and I hear her singing that, and I hear it being monumentalized in terms of for Biggie. You got to be a clever, very clever individual to flip a sample and a hook to the point of where it's still the same, but you don't think about where it came from. That's a level of intelligence that you might struggle to quantify. This is the excellence of Black music, of Black intelligence, of Black creation, of Black genius. You motherfuckers better quit stealing from us and then expect us to not turn around and manipulate something out of your pocket. Because I'll be honest with you, we can do it better. It's natural. A group of people that took hog guts and pig hooves and made them Southern delicacies. Watch who you fucking with. We are triumphant when put up against the Call of Duty and put to the test. I mean, look at our history. You know, we fought for everything. So what makes you think in a time like today that we wouldn't continue to figure out how things tick? It's a lot of us that are lost. As a people, that have no foundation, you're going to have a lot of people that are lost, a lot of people that are struggling. But there's a lot of us that have a tenacious spirit and that are ready to fight and that are very intelligent. So all of those people on that post, check yourself, man. Recognize talent when you see it. Recognize the method. Recognize that sampling is it's an art that has existed before hip hop, but it really came into play because you took everything from us. You essentially, when you look at the poor neighborhoods in New York and how they were just demolished and diminished to rubble, how kids still figured out how to make a hit song, figured out a way out with nothing. In a world of quid pro quo. And they still figure out how to make something from nothing. I am proud to look how I look. And I will forever be. And I'm going to talk pride in my skin and of my skin. And nobody's going to take that from me. Especially not a bunch of ignorant people on a post that are upset and think they know what they're talking about because a guy who in every breath of the word is a musical mogul is paying some greedy, European musician $2,000 a day. I'm sorry, he's really not paying it. He made a song that pays him that. It's a fair trade to me. If I could make a hit record right now that's got a sample of Celine Dion or somebody in it, and it pops off, that'll be the song that I sacrifice, that I give up. The song is an agent for the artist. It literally performs as an agent. The song gets out in the public. It shows its face. It speaks for you. It goes, gets fans. People put it on their own personal playlist. It gets on playlists of Spotify and Apple Music and all their pushed marketed playlists. The song acts as an agent for you. Like, you may not get nothing from it because you put that sample in it, but the song takes you to all these places and brings you back all these things. So what if it didn't bring you back no money? It brought you back some things that's more important than money. So Puffy wins. I'm not going to say Sting didn't. Sting wins too. Kudos for being able to manipulate a situation into, thousands of dollars a day payment for a piece of music that you didn't have to write, that you didn't have to sing or record, that you could just sit back and get paid. Kudos. Shoot. But don't slight Puffy, because that's intelligence. That's genius. That's a form of genius. Whenever you think of Biggie Smalls and you come across a tribute of some kind, that it could be a house party and they're going to run through a host of Biggie songs, they probably going to close out with that song right there. Yeah. So let's go over to the comments. B Wright checks in and says, Chuck Berry, I'm a little late, B Wright. Shout out to B Wright all the way in Memphis, Tennessee. Yeah, that was Chuck Berry. I ended up figuring it out. Time is it? I hate to ask what time it is, but 6:39, 6:31. Cheryl Thomas telling me that she's unable to see me speak. Probably because I switched screens and I put that post up on the main screen. Don Thomas. I feel you. You talking some real Black music history. Much love, cuz. Keep it moving. My man, that's my cousin right there. DJ, aka Don Thomas. thank you for tuning in, brother. Love you to death. Good to see you here. Good to see you here. Yeah, man. You know, so that's the history of sampling in a nutshell, as best as I can give it to you. Um, don't kill the messenger. He didn't make the message. And being who we are, I mean, we carry messages well. What can I say? I got a video of Dolly Parton. I found a video of her where she actually gets credited for her nails in 9 to 5, her hit song 9 to 5. You don't know the song, look it up. Great song. It was in a movie 9 to 5. And I mean, that song is like the epitome of the working day for the working person. So she's in the song, she's in the video, and she says, I use my nails like this just on accident in the studio. I ain't got the kind of nails she got, of course, to make it with the click how it had, but that's what she was doing in the studio. She was in the lab. So, and they was like, oh, that sounds great. We're gonna put your nails in the song and credit it for an instrument. So she got credit, as not just the singer, but also a person who was an instrumentalist who played an instrument on the song, her nails. In the video, the next clip over, they ask her a question about how she felt about Whitney Houston's I Will Always Love You. If you didn't know, the song I Will Always Love You that Whitney Houston sung, that was a song on the Bodyguard soundtrack, the film with Kevin Costner, and her. If you did not know, that song was Dolly Parton's song. Dolly Parton was so blown away by the song. She was so just impressed. She says that, when I heard it, she said, I just had to pull my car over. I was driving down the street. She said, I had to stop because this angelic voice, it was so beautiful. And it was my song. And she transformed my song. I had never heard my song in this way. I appreciate her, for doing something that a lot of singers wouldn't do, admitting the impact that an artist that had remade or redone their song had on their original and had to them. She didn't even speak on the impact of the song, because Whitney takes the song and effectively carries it into R&B, which translates into now Black and people of color fanfare taking on this country song. You never knew it was country if you didn't know about the version before it. Yeah, it's country song. But Whitney manipulates it to a point of where it just is fantastically sung, to the point of where even Dolly Parton was stunned and had to stop what she was doing, which was driving down the street and pull over. That's amazing. God built us to amaze, man. That's just the fact of it. And we don't do things to hurt anybody. We don't do things to sabotage. I mean, we're a group of people that's been deprived for years. We lived on depravity, given nothing, living in squalor all throughout history. And then when it comes time for the playing field to be leveled and fair, it still wasn't. Oh, you get free and post-slavery. Well, you ain't enslaved no more. Well, here comes Ku Klux Klan. Oh, well, we're moving into the 70s, and well, Ku Klux Klan is now been teamed up with the FBI. Oh, well, like constantly odds all around us, and we beating them and overcoming them. So Yeah, man. You know, before you get on somebody like Puff or one of our cornerstone artists, um, you gotta talk about the history of this sampling thing. You gotta talk about how it was being done way before us. You gotta talk about how white artists were just stealing the music whole. Reminds me of that Five Heartbeats clip in the movie before they signed the Big Red. They went to another record label and they was trying to do the get the single "I Got Nothing But Love for You" with the record label. It was a white guy, and he's one of my favorite actors, by the way. Can't think of his name. Uh, he said, "You know what, guys? I think this record is going to sound much better with this other group. Let me call in the Five Horsemen. Whoa, 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 ain't got no money. Whoa, ain't got no fancy car. Whoa." Try to do wop, take a nigga shit and do wop it. White do wop. Not even, that's barbershop quartet. I'm sorry. They tried to take a black song and barbershop quartet it. That was real. That really happened with many groups in the past. Because radio was afraid of black music coming out of black mouths. It was afraid of black faces. So black music, when it was released on wax, they would do things to hide the artist's face. Use just words and colors and try not to put the artist's face on the cover of the record, you know. Don't forget about all that we had to come through before you just come out here throwing knives and blades in regards to sampling. Like we have no talent. If we didn't have talent, you guys wouldn't have talent. I'm sorry. Not in this game, not in music. You guys wouldn't have the songs and the artists that you have if we didn't have what we have. Because you borrowed from us. You took so much from us. All throughout history. So a brother comes along in the 70s and takes a turntable and manipulates it and creates an entire new journey. This is hip hop, man. And another thing to artists that's tripping on that, man, release them samples, man. Your music, you made it to inspire others, right? Clear them samples, man. Have BMI or whoever runs your shit, have them get the payment and clear them samples. People not clearing samples for artists that are up and coming, that's like saying, you know, I don't want you to be too inspired by what I made. What kind of sense does that make? Listen, copying and borrowing is one of the greatest forms of flattery. Imitation? Oh man, you had to have loved me to imitate me. So clear them samples. We're going to take them anyway. See you in court. By that time, the song been rolled over, ain't no telling how many times. Then we can deal with it behind closed doors. But clear the samples and quit acting like that. Acting like you don't know where the origins of this come from. Like hip hop don't influence you a bit. Getting posts on comments on this post with white dudes with jerseys and backwards ball caps on talking about make your own music. Man, make your own self, man. You wearing backwards ball caps and jerseys and chain, got a chain on. I wish I could pull them up on the screen. I just remember because I see all of these comments all throughout the day and I have a choice to respond to them or not, you know, and I see these comments coming through. My phone never stops. You know, now that you got pages that's got so much momentum, You know, Facebook especially. Facebook is somewhere around 50,000 followers on one page. Another page, about 20,000 followers. Those are two of my biggest Facebook pages. That's 70,000 followers. Facebook don't never stop. It's constantly all day and night. I'll be asleep. Boom, 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 boom. I had to turn the phone on silent. So, and then when I got the phone, I can just pick up and see just a glimpse of a first liner from all these people. So that's how I'm able to see, you know, these folks and them saying a lot of the outlandish shit that they be saying. So, but cream rises to the top. And that's something you'll never be able to stop. We're going to go over to the comments. All right. We got a couple folks saying hi to each other. All right, just folks talking to each other in the comments. Nobody said anything. So, you guys, we will be right back. And when we come back, we're going to come back with my man and 100 grand. It's actually my right hand. Sports with Jerome Murphy. Stick around. You know football season had just started. Them sad-ass Colts and all kind of stuff is going on. So hang in there, stick around, and we'll be back.
It's not just music, it's classics.
Okay, I got some game for you. I got some game for you. I got some game for you. Omega versus Omega. I got some game for you.
See, that's $1 million song right there.
So tell me, really, don't you think it's fucked up when niggas be twisting shit into submission, forgetting that MOB is the mission, letting pussy take over the brain? There could be some other things, regardless of what you call it, a chain reaction. Dissatisfaction to the game, the pocket and partner, cause he didn't get into this marijuana or drug business, just be bullshitting while you on the sideline with your fake pimpin', nigga, please listen. I understand that niggas got hella shit up on their mind, but man, you can't let it affect the grind. Too easy to look back at the you that fell all the way off and be like, damn, motherfucker, do that. Now, you losing all of your money, man, you losing your dough. This next blow is worse, man, you losing your hoes, you pawning your jewelry, you pawning your clothes, you selling your whip, so now you need to ride the road. Oh, I seen it before. Niggas fall flat on their face from trying to reach grace, stand on the floor. I said it before. Those that are mind, body, and soul should be prepared for the woe. Go ahead, let it go. Whether it's shots of electrical, lyrical watts, I live from the foe. I'm bred for the cold. Saint Bernard like pedigree, but really I'm a pit to the bone. All OG strains here, no clones. Too many niggas writing other niggas' flows. My style's mine, nigga. Go get your own. Go get your own. Go get your own. That's why niggas better mind they own. Keep a nickel needle, my heater, miss sending you home. I call it a chrome, a gun, 2 piece of a tone. A Roscoe, gang, y'all, go roll over a brown. A burn of a biscuit, almonds and shutting you down quick. Coming up out the hostel with this minimal second. Shot to your legs, throw back, feeling wet. This homie, you fucking with niggas that got a gun daddy. Fuck you off. What kind of sense does it make to respect you when I got no regards for the law? I ride with the cars, I drive a nigga shot at my door for 1 cent. Did you ever think Omega would pause? No. A trained criminal, rhymes insane, cynical. People thinking that Omega would never remain lyrical. Now that's pitiful. Give me a minute minimum. I'm ending them as soon as he step into my continuum. No third element. I'm eating them seeds alive that don't deserve to rhyme, lacking intelligence. This is relevant to all of those who oppose me. This is the rap's vigilant delegate. Game for you. I got some game for you. I got some game for you. Man, we got the game for you. We got the game for you. We got game for you. Classic entertainment, baby. Omega. Yeah. Game for you. One and only. For you. Oh. Of Amontillado, they buried me, left me for dead inside the walls that's hollow. Now follow, they didn't take into account my year, make, and model. My God like design of an apostle. I rise like a phoenix, and I got you. Rob is the phenomenal, impossible, insolvable, unstoppable, prodigal, calling audible, still improbable. I got these suckers mad, flaring at the nostrils, non-volatile, but you can order from me. I serve you how you want your order to be, motherfucker. Fully optional, I'm conjugal with the beat, the greatest that you never heard or seen. Cocksucker, sharp to the T, sharper than razor blades be. With a chick on my side, sharper than Sonya Blade and Chun-Li. I hit the lotto, so what's my motto? I get the 7 digits from your mother for $1 tomorrow. Sight, this ain't no 8.
Yeah, I'm gonna take that sample right there. That is Omega. I like it. Yeah, and you know that's the barge and all, but I'm sure that they'll clear that, and if not, I'm gonna take that too. It was very inspirational. I've always loved the Barge, and I love that song in particular. So I'm gonna take that when it's time to release it. You'll be hearing that soon. That's something unreleased. I like it by Omega. So my man in 100 grand, which is also my right hand, is in the building. Give it up for sports with the one and only Mr. Jerome Murphy.
What's going on, cross-faded fans and sports fans?
Yes.
How is your going today? You know, football, like we said, like he said, just started. We start the 4th week tomorrow. And I was wondering if everybody's having problems like everybody else is with the streaming services. Now football is going to streaming. Like tomorrow, the game is going to be on Apple TV. And you got to subscribe to Apple TV in order to get it. So everybody was wondering, is that going to be the way that sports are going to go in the future, like the Super Bowl? Will the Super Bowl be a pay-per-view event? We're hoping not. We're hoping we can, because the game has always been free. But one thing that the NFL does is they make money. They make money hand over fist. They have a license to print money. All 31 teams, all in the NFL, they've taken their product and grew it so large where they're getting billions of dollars from TVs, Amazons of the world, and Fox, and even Tom Brady when he retires, they're going to give him what they say $300 and something million for 10 years, to be an analyst.
Really?
Just to talk sports during the game. And so, I mean, a lot of these guys are doing that, but they say sports is the last reality show on TV because you don't know the outcome. You're not supposed to know the outcome. But they say, thanks to that, we're going to go on and see from there. But some of the interesting games were like on Sunday with the Miami Dolphins. I don't know if you've seen. Everybody's talking about Tua Tagovailoa, the quarterback, that he was really concussed because if you saw the game, his head snapped back and hit the turf. And he got up and he was wobbling around. He said, "Oh no, it's my back. It's my back." But everybody was like, "Oh no, dude, you were concussed." And they sent him back in there. Now the Players Association is going to look into it to see if he was really concussed. Why are you putting him back out there like that? They're fighting against the whole concussion syndrome thing and trying to make the game safer for the players. But blatantly, they put that man right back out there, and his bell was rung. He didn't know who he was.
And this is who again?
This is Tua Tagovailoa. He's a Miami quarterback.
Tua Tagovailoa.
Yeah, he's from Miami.
Damn, who they play?
Who were they playing? I think it was a New York team. I think it might have been the Jets or something. But yeah, no, it wasn't the Jets. It was somebody else. I think that's not important, but it's just that his head snapped back and everybody saw it. Millions and millions of people saw it, and they was like, he's concussed. He should be back in there. And that was a whole argument that they're talking about. These athletes are not owning up when they get injured like that. Like I heard one guy say when he used to get injured, he would grab his leg, because they want to go back in there. They want to, stay in the fray and make that money. And they're totally concussed, but they're grabbing their leg, they're grabbing their ankle, and just to go back in and play. And then they want to sue the NFL later. Well, I was concussed, so you let me play. But no, they only go by what you say. They say that one guy, he was concussed. They had to hide his helmet during the game because he wanted to go back in there, and he knew he was concussed. But they said, you ain't got no helmet, you can't go in there. So they're doing things like that. And also, we're winding down. Baseball's winding down now. Any baseball fans in the house, let's give a hand for baseball, everybody.
Yeah.
Baseball. My man here always calls my favorite team. I'm from New York, so I love the New York Yankees. He calls them the New York Stankies, see? But guess what? The Yankees just clinched. We clinched. We are now in the division leaders. We are in the playoffs. Now it's up to us to go all the way. So we're looking at the Yankees. There's a lot of tight races. The New York Mets are in the race with the champions, the Atlanta Braves. They're neck and neck. They're duking it out. But now, I don't know, thanks to the storm, the hurricane that blew up in Florida, a lot of the games are going to be messed up. There might not be a football game. The baseball games are being changed up. I hope everybody out in Florida is okay.
Yes.
A prayer to everybody out there, our prayers, that you be safe. And keep your wits about you, because they're saying this is a doozy. It's coming in 155 miles an hour and it's taking no prisoners. So
yes, Mom, Dad, Corey, I'm gonna be calling y'all
Yes.
after the broadcast.
It's
They're on here like nothing's going on. Mom is on here.
Hey,
It was the
Mom.
Buffalo Bills. You talking about who
Oh,
Miami
that's
was
right, the
playing.
Buffalo Bills. That's right.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
He said, "Hi, Jerome. We're ready for some great sports news."
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There's a lot of great sports news out there.
Yeah.
For the NFL just got started. The baseball is going into playoffs, so it'll be figuring out by the end of October. They got basketball heating up. They're already going into training camps and stuff. So you're gonna have basketball, racing to cover all the spectrum. Racing is in this playoffs, just winding down. It'll be done in November.
Okay.
And the beat goes on. And the beat goes on.
Okay.
But a lot of the interesting teams are not doing so hot. A lot of them are. There's no undefeated teams already in the third week. Usually, there's an undefeated team by at least the 7th or 8th week. There's no undefeated team. So either somebody's won 1 or 2, or lost 1, or lost all 3, or like the Colts did, 1-1 and 1 win, 1 loss, 1 tie, which is unheard of. Other than that, we're looking at the Panthers. They're struggling with Baker Mayfield. He's supposed to be this new guy, confident. They're, I think, 2-0. A lot of the teams that people thought weren't going to be good are surprisingly good. So
what about the Colts?
The Colts is, well, like we said, they're 1-1 and 1. So they righted the ship after beating the Kansas City Chiefs, the premier. Nobody thought they would beat the Chiefs. Nobody thought they would, but they did down to the end. It might be the only game they win this year, but but they beat the Chiefs, so they kind of got back in good standings because everybody was like, well, they were mad at us because we didn't blow away Jacksonville like we were supposed to, and our division is the AFL South. It's really a weak division, they say. But I think everybody's just getting up to a slow start. We're going to start seeing some good football in October. Everybody's getting acclimated and stuff. And my New York Giants are 2-1. They were going to be 3-0, but they lost this weekend on Monday night to my friend Brian's Cowboys. I know he's happy about that. Boo, Cowboys. Doggone Brian and his Cowboys, but he beat my Giants. We'll get you back, Brian. We'll get you back. Other than that, let's see. Sports is just riding right along.
Okay.
Right along.
Okay. Thank you, brother.
Yeah.
You always keep us tight. Keep us up to date with sports and with what's going on.
All right. And we got a game tomorrow night. I know it's the Bengals, and I should know who the other team if I can get some help out there and
Bengals versus who tomorrow night?
Yes.
Who somebody put that in the chat?
Put that in the chats there. Bengals versus it's not the Niners. It's not going to be a big old game. Something unless you're a Bengals fan. But we're just going a lot of the slow games and stuff. We don't really heat up until October when everybody gets situated and you find out where your season's going to be. Because now where we're playing 17 games now, and next year it'll probably be 18 games. And the product is going to get diluted because we were playing all these extra games. People are getting hurt, but by the end run, it's the survival of the fittest. The team that comes out of it the healthiest is the one that's going to probably win the world the championship. So but people like Aaron Rodgers is doing good. The top tiers, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers. We don't know what's going on in Denver. My man left Seattle and went to Denver and looked bad. Got sacked 9 times on Sunday.
What's his name?
Russell Wilson.
Yeah, Sierra's guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mr. Unlimited. He looked pretty unlimited, boy. I know Mr. Bryan is boasting about his Cowboys. I know he got to win with a different quarterback. Now they're building a quarterback controversy. They don't know if Prescott's going to be back because he got hurt, but this new guy you got to have now, Cooper Rush. He seems to be doing good. He's moving the team down. With more playing time, he'll get better and better. And a lot of your rookies are doing good. They're looking like quarterbacks now, but beating Patrick Mahomes when the Colts did that felt good, because that guy is great. He's a baseball player technically, but he's playing football, so he has all the angles. He can throw that ball
Who, Patrick Mahomes?
Patrick Mahomes from Kansas City. You know, he's formerly a baseball player, but they got him into football. So his arm is outrageous because he can sling it across his body. He can sling, he can throw it at angles that most football players can't,
Yeah.
And being a pocket passer, but he also has the threat to run. But they just did not look sharp on Sunday when the coach got him in at the very, very end. So so people, if you're gonna enjoy your sports, get ready for your playoffs. In baseball, if you're a baseball fan, what they call the America's pastime, get ready for that. I'll be watching because the Yankees play again tonight. We clinched, so now we're still waiting for Aaron Judge, who is the #1 Yankee, to break Maris's home run record. He hit 60. Roger Maris. He hit 61, and Aaron Judge is at 60. And we're still waiting for him to hit 61. When he does, you'll notice it'll be trending all over social media, all on TV. Aaron Judge, you remember that name, Aaron Judge of the New York Yankees. He's going to tie it, and he's going to break it before the season comes to an end.
Yeah, I got to watch that movie 61. I found it, so I can watch it now. I found it.
Oh, yes, if you find the movie, but you need to watch it and familiarize yourself with it so you can be part of the movement. Because every time when he's playing, everybody stands up. They got their phones out. They're waiting to catch it, And that ball, when somebody gets that ball is going to be worth $1 million plus.
Wow.
That baseball, because he's going to hit it out in the stand. Somebody's going to get it. Whoever gets it, the balls it's labeled. They already have it stamped and stuff when he goes up there. So if anybody gets it, the authenticity of it, you're going to get over $1 million for one baseball.
$1 million ball.
$1 million plus ball.
Crazy.
I think it said $1.2 million, something like that.
Wow.
Yes. Because he's going to want that back, and they will pay for it.
Wow.
So
you
people
catch that ball, you turn into an instant millionaire.
Instant millionaire. So go to the games wherever they're at. They're in Tampa. No, they're in Canada right now. They're playing. They're playing. Who are they playing? Yeah, they're playing Canada. The Blue Jays, Toronto Blue Jays.
Okay.
They're playing the Blue Jays. So if somebody in that stadium, the ball flies out of there. So hopefully he'll do it on American soil, not in Canada.
Yeah.
But you should see it. If you can catch a game when he's playing, watch how everybody, when he comes up, everybody's got their cameras up, everybody stands up and they wait for it. When he's electric when he plays, he's electric.
All right.
Yes.
I'll be looking.
Oh yeah.
All right. This is just on a personal note. I'm gonna give this to the Colts right here. This is my thing for the Colts. It's called Hold This L.
Hold this L.
Picture of two hands holding the L. Colts, y'all have a lot of these L's to hold. I am a very
you beating up on the home team, man.
I'm a very infamous Colts hater.
Yes.
I do not like the Colts.
The Colts ain't did nothing to this man, but he hate them with a passion.
They are trash.
They beat the Kansas City Chiefs, though. That's not an easy
feat. Even though they won the last game.
Yes, that's no easy
feat. They got blew out the game before.
Yes, they did. They did get a goose egg. That's the one. The first time.
Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yes.
It was like 25 to nothing.
The first time they got a 0 in years. I think it was 2014 was the last time they were blown out.
To the Colts, this is gonna be for y'all. I'm gonna keep. Hold This L is going to be something that is a theme to a lot of folks that got L's to be held. And the Colts, I foresee you holding lots of L's. So anybody on here that's a Colts fan, I know Mom is. I'm sorry, Mom.
I am. Because when in Rome, do it the Romans.
You got a lot of teams.
Yes. Well, coming from New York, we got 3 teams. We have the Buffalo Bills, the New York Jets, and the New York Giants.
You got it's people that are dedicated, diehard Colts fans, and I don't know why. You're killing yourself. You're stressing yourself. You're running your blood pressure up.
They tasted of the glory.
With your body being a fan of these people.
The Colts
will never bring you home a W.
The Colts have tasted of the glory. We've got Super Bowls thanks to Mr. Peyton Manning.
Thanks to Peyton, and they go off and this is what I mean. And they trade him like he was no good, and then he goes and gets another ring. We could have had 2 rings.
He was at the end of his route. They were smart,
but he got another ring.
Yeah, because Denver worked around him, and he really stunk at the end. He just came up at the end. And got it, but,
so the Colts couldn't work around him. Yeah, because they didn't want to put nothing around him, and that's why they gonna hold L's for as long as the Colts are in the city. You Colts ain't really been real winners since Johnny Unitas.
Oh my God, you going back to Johnny U?
Yeah, in Baltimore. So yeah, I love Peyton. I'm a Peyton fan, but I'm not a Colts fan.
Not a Colts.
So hold this L, Colts. I appreciate it. There'll be many more L's for you to hold.
Well, Colts fans, let's prove him wrong. Let's show him that now we got that first win under the belt. We got the train is rolling. The Colts train is rolling. They gonna get another one. I don't know who we play this weekend, but I got to look ahead to that. We're gonna play. We're gonna win.
Okay, well, hope for the best, man. But please know that to expect the word. Lord have mercy.
I'm gonna have a bang with you. If we at least make the playoffs, there's gonna be some crow that has to be eaten or cross-faded. Right. I'm gonna get a Colts cake. I'm gonna cut you a big old hunk in piece, and you're gonna eat it for the people.
I'll eat it. I will eat it.
You will eat it. All right.
That's a piece that I'll never get to see.
Remember, he said that people out there in cross-faded land.
Yeah.
Let's pray. Let's make sure this man eats a piece of Colts humble pie.
Yeah.
Humble pie.
All right. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
All right.
Enjoy your sports, everybody. Live long and enjoy. And remember, it's just a game. It's just a game.
Just a game, Colts fans. Please. It's just a game.
Just a game.
So, my man, thank you so much. We're gonna keep moving with my man. He's gonna stick around with us. I want to talk to you guys about something that has been one of the most retarded. And yes, I'm going to use the word retarded.
That's not socially correct.
I know, but this is that this word is like the best word for this scenario. So we're going to talk about our big dummy of the week.
I was wondering if we going to get to that.
Yes.
I love the big dummy of the week.
I do too.
You're a big dummy?
I do too. And the big dummy of the week.
Drum roll.
People cooking chicken with NyQuil. NyQuil chicken.
NyQuil chicken?
Yes.
Never heard of this.
Okay. If you've never heard of this, watch this clip from ABC or NBC. So.
Is apparently a thing on TikTok. And NyQuil chicken is apparently a thing on TikTok. And if you weren't already completely disgusted by the videos that we just showed, the FDA is telling you do not do this, right? The FDA is out with this new warning against exactly what you think it is, chicken cooked in NyQuil. The FDA says it could make somebody accidentally take a dangerously high dose of NyQuil without realizing it, because obviously when you boil something, it's going to make it more concentrated. It could also change the way it works. If you inhale those NyQuil vapors while you're cooking, it could also hurt your lungs.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news.
So, NyQuil chicken, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow. People got a lot of free time on their hands.
A lot of free time on their hands. And I'm looking at a picture of the NyQuil chicken right now. How does it look?
I can't see it. Is it crispy?
No. It's slimy. It's green. It's sitting inside of a pan and with a bottle of NyQuil next to it. And I actually seen this video. They took it down. It was on TikTok first, and the video began to kind of trend and gain a lot of attention. I didn't get to get that guy's name because he's like the first NyQuil chicken guy. And I didn't get to, but it's the most ridiculous thing that I've ever seen in my life at this point in life. It's the worst case of attention seeking, of thrill seeking. We're in a time where internet people
are looking for their 15 seconds of fame.
Yes, and they're willing to do anything. Including choke themselves out by foreign gases from boiled medicines that are not meant to be boiled or cooked or alterated. And they're putting it in a food like chicken, which is even more just disgusting and unsafe, considering all of the elements that chicken carries when it's misappropriated or handled incorrectly. And the chicken is green after they've pulled it from being cooked and fried. You can't tell if it's really cooked. It still looks raw, and it's on a plate of a white plate with just a green, nasty.
Somebody's
slimy.
gonna probably take that and make it St. Patrick's Day chicken and stuff. When you eat NyQuil chicken, no, chicken is not supposed to be green. I'm sorry.
Good luck. If you're dumb enough to do this, then go ahead and eat up, man. Eat up by the face loads.
Wow.
Stuff your face because you were meant to do this. If this is something that you feel is appropriate and that you think is, going to be cool for your page, or this is the last resort that you've come up with, I say eat hefty helpings. I say help yourself. Feed the family. Go ahead, man, and just lean into it.
Because that gene pool should not be reproduced if you're doing stuff like that. I'd rather be the peanut butter and the chocolate guy than a NyQuil chicken guy. Oh my God.
If you're that stupid, there's some things that just they just
we're not meant to go together. We're not meant to go together.
Not just that, but you really cannot find the words for them. If you're one of those people that are making this and you really think that this is, something that is good for your page, good for your body, eat up, man. Eat it a couple of nights a week, and the best of luck to you and prayers to you, because you're one of the stupidest individuals that I've ever seen, and the world thinks the same. They agree.
Oh man.
Period.
I say, if you're going to do anything with chicken, a best friend of mine made something. It's a great dish called pancake chicken. Now you're talking. Now you're talking.
I've had that pancake
chicken.
chicken.
You had that pancake chicken?
I had it too.
Oh my God.
It was ridiculous.
Talk about finger licking good.
Now pancake chicken is real.
It's real.
Chicken.
It's real chicken. It's kind of like chicken and waffles, but it's made differently. But it's exquisite.
Yes.
And the USDA and the Food Administration won't take it down. They will encourage it because it builds you up.
Maybe we'll get that friend to make us some and serve us some. We got to get that friend
and post a recipe and everything. It was excellent.
Now that's real chicken.
That's real chicken. This is ridiculous.
Right here,
this is a
travesty.
This
is what I'm gonna give you. This is from Fred Sanford himself. God rest his soul.
God rest him. Red Fox.
Dummy.
You big dummy.
That's to you.
Yes.
That's to you and everybody else that thinks this is cool. Because there was one guy that dropped this, and then it just spurred a bunch of trends after. Trends where people were disgusted. Trends where people were like, "I'm gonna cook some too." So from Fred. From the man himself,
Red Fox.
From Red Fox, but in this form of Big Dummy form, Fred Sanford. This is from him. You big dummy. Okay, you earned it. You earned it, and I applaud you.
And that's on the loop. That's on the loop.
Yeah, if you're that stupid, you probably deserve everything that comes from behind it. So that's our Big Dummy of the week. People cooking NyQuil chicken.
Anybody who knows chicken, poultry is not supposed to be green. If it's green, get rid of it.
Lord,
I don't care. I don't care.
Lord,
I've never heard of it. Wow. You just hurt my stomach, sir.
Yeah, man.
You just did it to me. You did it.
Disgusting.
Wow.
All right, guys. So quick break. We'll be right back after this commercial. And stick around for the conclusion.
The conclusion.
Rappers, producers, hip-hop entertainers.
Wow.
Hit up CWK Promotions for any of your
you can do due diligence on that one.
Promotions.
Crazy.
Studio sessions.
I know the ice challenge.
Models
you're doing the ice challenge and all types of stupid
hit
shit.
up Chris Clark and CWK Promotions. Booking
like a
15 to 30% Models $50 to $500 for your videos. Promotions of any kind. Studio sessions ranging from $35 to $175, and features from $10,000 to $250K. Hit up CWK Promotions now.
You like my plug? Yes.
I'll fill it up. Let me get a little bit of music. Or better yet, we'll run a Kicks Casserole.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. Yeah.
I'ma stay fresh with Kicks Casserole. Cop the latest with Kicks Casserole. Nothing less than Kicks Casserole. I'm at my best with Kicks Casserole. I'ma stay fresh with Kicks Casserole. Cop the latest with Kicks Casserole. Nothing less than Kicks Casserole. I'm at my best with Kicks Casserole. Look, nigga, I'm dumb fly. Every time the sun rise, murder classrooms with my fresh since junior high. Fucking up the cafeteria, Columbia 11 highs. Chicks cutting hella eyes while I move with a smooth stride. North Carolina from head to toe. Freshest that you know, and that remains from then on into tomorrow. So I'ma stay getting figures, macking bitches, getting bigger, and fresh from head to toe with Kicks Casserole.
How Chris is working. Yeah, no.
Okay, go. All right.
Yeah. Kicks Casserole.
Sir.
Yes.
Yo, we are back. So,
I still can't get over the big dummy segment with the NyQuil chicken. That just did it for me.
NyQuil
chicken.
God. All right. Before we go, I want to talk about one near and dear subject that just arose out of the last couple of weeks, dealing with Morris Day and the time. Morris Day, unfortunately, after the settlement of the Prince estate, is having his name taken from him. You can watch more about this incident on our page, and it's titled Morris Day and the Time No More.
Wow, did they take it Morris Day and the Time?
They took Morris Day's name, and they offered for him to come and renegotiate with them on terms of their own, where he could use the name and continue to perform with it after they agree to whatever they come up with contractually.
Wow.
So this man has been, if you know about Prince,
yes,
and all of the individuals a part of the Prince brand,
yes,
Apollonia 6, Vanity 6,
couple of them,
Morris Day and the Time, the Minnesota Sound Machine, all together, with Prince being the fingers on the pulse of it, the creator, the one who kept it breathing, the one who is responsible for its existence, and also co-creator of Morris Day and the Time. All the way from the image to just the entire presentation. He's co-creator. In fact, Prince is quoted saying that he wanted Morris Day to carry out everything to the T with the notations and everything, because it was what he saw himself being if he was to be in another form. So if you know Prince's brand and then you look at Morris Day and the Time, Morris Day kind of has more of like, we'll say more of a masculine style of a brand. He's always in a suit, more so of like a pimp kind of presentation. Prince said this was a form of how he saw himself, but he couldn't present it inside of his brand. So he came up with Morris Day and the Time to execute what he was seeing in his mind as a band for himself, an alter ego of sorts. So Morris Day and the Time is Prince and Morris Day's brainchild. So this family settles out of court with the first proceeds being divided. I think it's somewhere around $6 million being divided amongst a handful of siblings, like 4 or 5 siblings. One of the siblings gives their shares up in some ownership right after. Some of the others hold on to their shares and their money, and they're waiting for the rest of the estate to settle, which is somewhere over the $150 million mark.
This man is rolling in his grave.
Rolling.
He's got to be.
Yeah.
And they're releasing stuff that he had in the vaults that, he wasn't intending to have played and stuff. They're releasing it and stuff. And selling it out to commercials. He never was a commercial guy. His music was not in commercials. Yeah. They're selling his stuff.
Yeah.
Right out. Oh, man.
Prince was never cool with that. He would have never been cool with you guys taking Morris Day's name and doing what you're doing with it. He would have never been. Morris Day said it himself. When Prince was alive, he never had any problems. We never had any problems. Them guys went to high school together.
Wow.
Them guys go back to high school. And the guy, I think his name is Jerome. He's the fella that's always holding the mirror for Morris Day. Whenever Morris says, I need a mirror. and he takes and holds a mirror.
Jerome.
Yep, that's Jerome. That's that. Them guys, Prince, Jerome, and Morris Day, they went to high school together, man.
Wow.
They was jamming back in high school. Prince had a band in high school. He played basketball in high school. He was a very active person in high school, and especially with music. He harnessed his sound with all of these different instruments during that time.
Yes.
Prince worked his way up to double digits in the instruments that he was able to play and master.
Yes.
So this man plays over in somewhere in the teens or better.
12, 13 instruments, I think.
Of instruments. So pure musician, and then comes and creates an entire sound, comes back, saves his friends and brings them into the fold, and then exploits all of them together in a movie, which would be Purple Rain.
Right.
Bringing the Minnesota sound to the front
to the big
and center. Yeah, front center stage on the big screen.
On the big screen.
Yeah. So he would have never allowed this. He would have never sat back and tried to take anything from Morris. He wouldn't have had nothing of the sort. And it's so sad to see. It's like Morris Day said, I don't have his quotes, but I'm getting close to verbatim. He said, I worked so hard for my name. I put my blood and sweat in my name.
Yes, sir.
I perform and make a living with my name now. And how these people think that this is okay. He said, I'm not going to take this lying down. And that is verbatim for sure.
He's not going to take a lying down.
And I hope he gets his name. I hope he gets everything else that if there's anything else that they've taken, any other form of intellectual properties,
his masters or anything like that,
anything else, come off of it. Because Morris Day, although he was
the brainchild,
not a brainchild, but signed to Prince's Paisley Park Records, he was also signed in some form or fashion. I tried to look up and find how his deal construction was, and it was hard to see. But Warner Brother Music does have a hand in the artists that were on the Paisley Park imprint.
Oh, okay.
And there's a lot of artists that would come along to be on the Paisley Park imprint.
Yes.
Tevin Campbell was one.
Sheila E.
Yes. Was one.
Yes.
George Clinton, little do we know, ended up signing to the Paisley Park imprint as well in the later years. Yeah.
And didn't he help Sheena Easton?
Sheena Easton is a part of the Paisley Park.
He wrote for her.
Yeah.
And there was another one, another Australian. Was it Let's Get Physical. She's
oh, really?
Yes. That's Sheena Easton. That's Sugar Walls is Sheena Easton, and I think forget the other girl, but it was another Australian that he wrote for that made it big. Okay. I think he did it. Yeah.
That's crazy. You know,
and he wrote these songs and gave it to these people, and it was a Prince touch. You can hear the Prince sound, and you can, like you said, the Minnesota machine sound. You hear it. You know.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's crazy.
That is
40 some odd years. What this also says, besides the fact of it being wrong, and what this says is, here is a brother that we can date back to the early 80s time frame that did not have a grip on his business, which mirrors the artist of today. So if you don't know your business, once again, like the Little Yachty video, this is why, Joe Budden was so on his head about what's your business? What deal did you sign? Here's Morris Day 40 years in, and somebody can literally reach in and take his name.
The same thing that Prince was fighting. Remember, he started off as Roger Nelson.
The same fight
Prince was Yep. And then the symbol. And then the symbol. And then you got
the same reason he wrote Slave across his face and performed with Slave on it, because he had the Warner Brothers system.
Had to change.
Had to change on music.
Yep.
And then he dies, and then one of his understudies, or what do you call
underlings.
That's one, but what do you call it?
Proteges.
Yes. One of his proteges has to go through the same kind of battle.
Same thing. Makes no sense. It makes no sense.
Once again, Black culture being robbed in one form or another. In this case, the only difference is it's being robbed by another handful of black folks, some goofy looking
who didn't have nothing to do with the creative process.
Nothing to do with it. And I wish you could see him. His siblings have no swag.
Oh no,
they look nothing like they have nothing to favor Prince.
No.
Just a bunch of goofy looking Minnesota
wannabes
coming in here taking their brother's shit.
Yeah,
you know, and it's just so it's embarrassing. It's heartbreaking, and
you think it had safeguards built in because you know everybody knows we're not gonna last forever. You figure he like put in safeguards, say, look, this has to happen, and you know,
Prince's estate has underwent similar issues as the Michael Jackson estate.
Right.
These guys didn't they didn't have trust. They didn't have their stuff protected. Michael Jackson had trust from what I've been told,
right,
but he did not have all the assets and all these things inside of the trust and protected by, you know, people who would distribute it, trustees and grantors and etc. So Prince, same thing. You know, when a guy like that,
those were the two, you know, entities at that time.
Come on, man. They said in a documentary I watched that Michael Jackson is known across like 93% of the world. Knows Michael Jackson.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Like that's 93% of the world. Okay.
That man can't. If he was alive right now, he couldn't touch down in any country without somebody recognizing him.
That's right.
His brand was that strong.
That's right.
Yes.
That marketing, that branding, that
base.
93% recognized on any continent in the world. And when he dies, the stuff is left in probate.
The vultures come
to a judge to say where goes what. And
right.
Take, man, what?
Wow.
Man. That's two sides to this coin.
All that work he put in, all that due diligence, you know, to have it fail at the end, you know, that's crazy.
Two sides to this coin. One man who didn't know his business and said, hey, I'm going to leave my business in the hands of a friend that I trust. I went to high school with him. I love him. I've been riding with him for 40 years. Ain't nothing going to happen. And then another man who did pass that didn't have his business and everything arranged and scheduled to be protected should he succumb to something. There's two sides to that coin. Prince's business wasn't right, and neither was Morris Day's.
Right.
Okay. Don't be like that, my fellow musicians, rappers, singers,
entertainers.
Artists. Don't be like that. Make sure you own your music. Make sure you own
your
likeness.
Your likeness. That's
your
the thing
publishing,
now.
yes, but your likeness.
Yes.
They will take and have a whole nother person that looks and sounds like you.
Be you.
And be you.
Wow.
And take your name.
The deception is hard.
Yeah.
Deception.
It's not a joke. It's not all about singing on a microphone.
No, getting in front of the crowd and hanging out with the girls. No, there is a business aspect you have to be strong and you got to be diligent with. A lot of us wasn't. A lot of them weren't back in the days. You know, that's why everything was perpetrated the way it was. And Prince, I thought, was the one that said, okay, I'm not going to be that guy. He fought and got his stuff back, but he didn't do the last part of it, which was, you know, secure it, you know, protect it, you know, have it written out. He had the money for it.
Sad, man.
It is.
So we'll keep you up to speed on what happens. I've actually been considering reaching out to Morris Day's camp. I just wanted that video to kind of trend up and get out there and just bring the word out. Because a lot of times these kind of issues, when people start to get wind of it, they gain traction and then they gain attention. And then, you know, people will try to settle these issues. They'll be a little more likely and open to ideas of settling it. So I've been seriously considering. Our street correspondent gave me that idea. He said, man, you know, you should reach out to Morris Day and them.
Yes.
So, and I think I will. I believe we did find his correct management, and I'll let you know what happens with that. And should we make contact with him or not, we're going to follow through and let you know what ends up happening with Morris Day. Do they come back to being Morris Day at the time? You know, what happens?
We grew up with Morris Day at the time. 777 93 11, baby. Come on. Everybody walk your body. You know, that was a step out. That was stepping out before stepping out was big. You know.
Yeah. Maybe not an iconoclast like Prince, but nonetheless, it doesn't matter.
Second in command.
Doesn't matter.
Second in command. He was smooth. He was wearing the Stacey Adams and the camisoles. He had a whole vision, you know.
Yeah.
He put girls in camisoles. He had guys and girls walking around Stacey Adams, you know.
Yeah.
You know, he was prolific like that. I think Prince people between you and me and the Fort Worth, they should get some NyQuil chicken. Maybe they'll get right.
Yeah. Serve that NyQuil chicken to Prince's sibling.
Yes.
God.
They need some help.
And let them eat up till they feed their face.
Feed their face.
Cheek to cheek.
And see another light. Because that's ridiculous.
Crazy.
Ain't had nothing to do with the man's success except for a backup and ride, get free tickets and stuff.
As if it's not enough money in the situation where you guys gotta go and tamper with someone else's legacy.
Somebody else.
Y'all should have been giving him those rights. Y'all should have when they came on the deciphering of assets, because that's what Morris Day is in this. He's an asset because he's an artist of the Paisley Park Records label.
Right.
So he is an asset. When you have a record label, your assets consist of artists, and then other things that the label owns that's in its name. So equipment, even if it's a car, furniture,
building,
bank accounts, Morris Day is nonetheless but an asset, a revenue incurring asset. They should have gave him his name. They got over $150 million coming to them, and they just got given about $6 million of it right at the front end. All right, right at the front end until because probate is working and deciphering other stuff. And Prince's whole house is a museum that's making a monthly or weekly income. I'm sure
it is. It's just like Graceland and other places. Yes,
Paisley Park. Like, that's a whole museum.
They come from miles around to see the purple one, to see the purple guitar, the purple clothes, the purple the images that to be ensconced in purple.
So you guys acquire a museum. You acquire $6 million up front.
I'd be happy just running that museum.
You acquire all of his belongings, a vault full of music.
A vault that he didn't want released.
You acquire his clothing, which a lot of clothing is turned into museum artifacts as well.
Yes.
You know, I'm sure that some of the what's the rock and roll cafe? Hard Rock Cafe.
Yes.
Like they're famous for having instruments and clothing in their restaurants and encased in glass. And I'm sure places like that and other musically related museums would love to have Prince artifacts. You guys get all of that, and then on the back end, you got a back end, you got a front end and a back end. On the back end, $150 million,
and they're still not happy.
Why is this man's name in question? Why is this man's legacy?
Give that man his due. Let him do what he does.
That's greed.
That's greed. That's outright greed. And gluttony. It's gluttony.
Yes, it is.
Lord don't like greed. Lord don't like gluttony.
Yes, it is.
You know?
And I look at that man's brothers and sisters. None of them look like they got a lick of talent. They all look like blobs of people.
Blobs of people with their hand out.
Like.
But the only thing that's synonymous with them is this: a big old hand out. That's all it is.
And light skin.
Yep.
Yep.
You know.
So yeah, man, keep your eyes on that. Make sure that you watch that video on our page about Morris Day and the time.
Let's go to the comments. Anything in the comments?
In the comments, Joe Thomas says that's so sad.
It is.
It is. And she said she corrected you about the let's get physical. She said that's Olivia Newton-John.
Olivia Newton-John. I think who wrote that? Did he do that? He did what?
She got that let's get physical.
Right. That's Olivia Newton-John.
But I think I know what you're talking about with
Shannon Easton did more than one. I know she did talk about good loving. That was a Prince. You could hear Prince in that. Talk about good loving.
But the Morris Day song you was talking about, I forgot how it goes, but he's got a physical something. Something, but you're
I know Walk Your Body and 777. That's the what.
Yep, you're absolutely right. That was Olivia Newton-John.
Yeah.
But so that's all the comments got for us now. They just in there, just like, wow, this is terrible.
It's horrible.
It is.
A legend, a man, and a certain friend of ours that we know, Cheryl Thomas, she loves the color purple. She says that that is the color of royalty. I thought it was blue, but she said, no, it's purple. purple is the color of royalty.
Royalty, man.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes.
Right. So yeah, you guys. Final thoughts. What can I say? You know,
wow.
Music sampling is here to stay. Music sampling is the cornerstone of hip hop.
I have a question before we do. When it comes to the music sampling, is it relegated to so many bars? Because I've heard a rumor you can only sample up to 8 bars, 6 bars, 12 bars. Is there some truth to that or no?
You know, we're gonna have to do some case studies on that because it's so loose. I mean, you got cases, because I was gonna do case studies with Robin Thicke and Marvin Gaye, and Michael Jackson and Rihanna,
Michael Jackson and Mama C, Mama Sasha, Michael Star, and Michael fought that guy. He should just gave him the money. He stole that guy's song. He really did.
But see, I see stuff like okay, Juicy J, he's got a song with 666 Mafia where he has the words "slop on my knob."
Yeah, on the cob. Yes.
So he gets like 40% from 2 different artists that use those same 2 lines.
Really?
So it's like I'm gonna have to do some work and understand like if there's boundaries or if it's just usage altogether. But I don't think the 4-second theory is
no.
I don't think, because I've seen so many different situations where people have been held accountable for what they've borrowed.
Right.
I've seen even where people borrow drum patterns
and got tagged out.
Yeah. So Dr. Dre, he borrows not even words, but like this is in Truth Hurts song, and it's like from an Indian song.
And they tagged him.
Yeah. Dang. So I'm gonna have to do some more research and understanding on that. But artists, what I would say to you as a final thought, being honest about it, go ahead and sample. Take that stuff. Because here's the thing. The song, when it gets recognition or it gets to a point, I had this conversation with an artist that had a gold and a platinum record before. He was expressing to me how he was against the ideal of sampling, and he didn't want nothing, sampling in it. And I was like, well, I mean, you just would deal with it with your day in court. Right. But I guess things were a little different for him because he was already established. Right. So I guess a person putting out a song like him putting out a song that has those samples, he might get a backdraft faster than an unknown artist. But this was my assumption. Right. And I get that because he's established. He's had deals with, a couple of different record labels. He's produced hits. His name is known in the industry. So he probably is a person that shouldn't put out something uncleared.
Right.
But a guy that doesn't have any kind of fanfare and hasn't had a hit, hasn't charted, hasn't had the recognition of an A-list, B-list, C-list, or D-list artist that has seen success in the past, put that shit out, man. Put that shit out, let it circulate, let it run, let it take its course, and then deal with it your day in court. Because you know what? When you get to court, it's because the record has shown some signs of success.
Right.
So now
it's too close to the original, where some people are taking notice and they don't want you to have that. They figure like you're infringing on their rights.
Which is some form of success.
Yes.
Like it's gonna take for you to cover a certain ground, a certain amount of numbers before that's recognized.
Right.
I mean, there's stolen music all over the net, but there's statistically 60,000 songs released every day. All right. I got that statistic from Spotify itself.
Wow.
60,000 songs a day released. All right. So literally you're a proverbial needle in a haystack.
Right.
Okay. So when you release that song and it's got them samples in it, and they've approved it. Spotify has let it get through somehow.
Right.
Apple Music, it didn't got through and it ain't got struck.
YouTube,
it got through. It ain't got through and it ain't got struck.
Right.
Run that. Keep running it and run it into the ground. And you get to a point where it does surface and it does make some noise and it does garner some attention. And you make sure that you're prepared and that you lawyered up.
Right.
And you had things in order for you to be able to face whatever music comes. And you might be with a career born out of this situation, a career born out of infamy, possibly, or a career born out of a sampling effort that was challenged in a court of law. Wow. Either way, don't be afraid being an unknown artist.
Wow.
Period.
I can't wait. We got some big doors. I want to find out about Morris Day at the time. I want to find out for your research. Like I said, I've heard bars. You can only go 8 because a regular set in the bar is 12, right? You said it was 12 or 16. 16 bars. How many bars?
16 bars is in a verse.
Yes.
And 4 bars repetitive twice is a hook.
See, there's your formula right there, artists. So you need to, work within those confines, those constrictions. So I wonder, like you said, if Robin Thicke went over. I've heard them, and I mean, a beat maybe, but
I couldn't even hear it in Robin Thicke.
Really?
Like, it took for me to have to keep going back and listening over and over again to really hear.
I caught it from the beginning. Yes. Just the up tempo and it's more or less they're going on the bass rhythm is what they're doing. The drums, that's what's going in.
Yeah,
that's what souls it because it sounds almost like that. I was never a big fan of the Marvin Gaye song. I like the Robin Thicke because it had everything. It had.
I love the song.
Really?
That's the Get On Up.
Get On Up, yeah. He wrote so many things, and that wasn't one of my favorites. Yeah, they loved it. They loved it.
Yeah. But do your thing, artist. Like, don't let nobody stop you, stifle you.
Like you said, take your chances. You can it all come out in the wash in court, one way or the other.
Yeah, and big time artists clear them samples, man.
Yes. Give somebody else a chance. Give somebody else a leg up. You made it. Give somebody else a chance to make it, or at least give us a modicum of success. A modicum.
You made it to inspire.
Yeah,
and that's an end result of
you should be privileged. You should be happy.
Yeah.
We are taking what you did and we are improving it. They gave us lemons. We're gonna make lemonade.
Yeah,
that's what that is.
Imitation is the greatest form of flattery.
Often imitated, never duplicated.
Yeah.
There you
go.
go.
Clear the samples.
Please.
Clear the samples.
Please.
And young up and comers, I'm gonna do it. I have done it.
Take them samples.
Take it, man.
Take it.
Take it.
Pay the consequences later. It's like the young ruffians. Ride hard, ride high, and pay the consequences later.
Yeah, man. So y'all. That's what it is. That's what it be. And that's where we at.
I want to say hi to my niece Nicole. We gonna say bye. What's up going on in North Carolina?
North Carolina,
Crack-a-lack, Greensboro in the house. Greensboro.
Yeah. California, Florida. Thank you for tuning in.
New York City, holla at you.
Thank you for tuning in.
Memphis, Tennessee, what it do?
Tennessee, thank you for
tuning in.
Tampa Bay, Florida,
thank
you for tuning in.
And prayers for that storm. Everybody duck and cover and be safe. And
I'll be calling my family here shortly to check on y'all. I love y'all. I know everything's gonna be fine, but I need to hear you guys' voices to make sure.
Yes.
But thank you for everybody that tuned in with us and watched us.
Please. And one more. Happy belated to the Thomases. Happy birthday, Mom and Dad. Happy birthday. This is your personal birthday card for me.
Happy birthday.
Love you. I wish you many more years. We can't let you go now. I want to see 70, 80 birthdays between us.
They can do it if anybody can.
Oh, yeah. They live righteous. They live with the Lord. They walk with him. He walks side by side.
Happy birthday.
Happy belated.
Great Daryl and Cheryl Thomas.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
You're the best parents that I've ever seen.
I'm adopting them, by the way. I'm your adopted brother.
That's right. That's right.
You know.
Happy birthday and happy anniversary. Their birthdays are sandwiched. Their anniversary is sandwiched by their birthdays.
Wow.
So you got my dad's birthday, then the anniversary, then mom's birthday, and they're sandwiched. All three of these are sandwiched together. So happy birthday to y'all. I love y'all so much.
We love you to
death.
Thank
y'all for being my biggest and best fans.
Oh my gosh.
Always.
Oh my God.
Thank you for that love. That's a love that as a
never
son,
dies. And
as a son, you couldn't ask for more than that.
And as an adopted son, you can't ask. Stays from Hollywood Rome,
Right.
as Mama calls me. What's up, Hollywood Rome?
Hollywood Rome.
I love that lady.
Oh. Hold on. We just had so we got a Memphian chiming in.
Uh-oh.
Mr. Adrian Williams.
Not Mr. Adrian.
Give that brother a hand.
Hey, Adrian.
Adrian Williams
Adrian.
says he wanted to play, saying it was an injury from his back. He's talking about
Tua, the Miami quarterback. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what he's talking about. But no, everybody saw his head hit the turf, Adrian. That boy was concussed. I'm sorry. He was concussed. He shouldn't have went back into the game. He shouldn't have. But it's going to shake out. We'll find out. He might not play tomorrow. I think is he playing tomorrow? Who they say was playing? Did we get a feed of who was playing tomorrow besides Cincinnati?
I don't.
No.
If you guys know who's playing tomorrow, put that in the chats.
Yeah.
Adrian, if you know who's playing tomorrow, put it in the chats.
I want Adrian to do. He's a sports fan. See?
Yeah, he
you know.
is.
So I can't ask Brian because all he knows is Cowboys.
Yeah. Big right. That's
Big
man,
right.
Man.
I like him to death. He wasn't a Cowboy fan. See?
I respect the Cowboys, man.
Oh, you respect the Cowboys, but you don't respect the coach. Mama, get him, Mama. Get him. Get him, Mama.
I got some respect for them dudes.
Yeah. America's favorite team.
Yeah, I respect them brothers. Cheryl Thomas says, thank you, Jerome and Omega. We love you so very much, and we love you, Hollywood Brown.
Hollywood. It's the sunglasses. It's the sunglasses. Hollywood.
Yeah, man.
Never ran, never would.
No.
Dude.
No, not at all. All right, y'all. Well, yep, that's the final thought. Sampling is a part of our DNA.
Yes.
Sampling is a part of our history. Sampling begins one of the greatest musical genres on this planet. Sampling is what has made companies that are white owned wanted to follow and invest in black
upstarts.
Black talent and black entertainment.
Yes.
The think about this, a place where they built tenements to keep them out and keep them away from the rest of the parts of the town. Now they turn around and come back and reinvest in those people that they once wanted to keep away from everything.
The black and the brown.
And now they can't get enough. They can't not invest. They got to have their hands on it in some form or fashion. But what we need to do is recognize our worth. What we need to do is make sure that once we recognize our worth, we add tax.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Amen.
Please make sure that you like, subscribe, and share. All right. Omega Classic Records is the page and the name. Omega, none rhymes greater. My man and his right, my right hand.
Right
and
here.
100 grand, Jerome Murphy.
Right, word. And I say wave to say shout out to my niece Nicole, because I know she's watching in North Carolina. What's up, Greensboro, North Carolina?
Yeah, Greensboro, M-Town.
M-Town.
Hold on, before we roll. Hold on, Philadelphia, undefeated.
Philly.
That's Adrian Williams. Cheryl Thomas, I love the Cowboys too. Adrian Williams, I called that bet. He called that bet.
He got it.
What bet you talking about? You talk what?
The bet that the Cowboys are gonna beat the Giants probably.
Okay.
On Monday night. That's what he was talking about. I'm not talking to Adrian though, boy. Evidently he's a Cowboy apologist.
Adrian is a Giants fan.
He is?
He's a Giants fan.
Adrian, call me later.
Correct me if I'm wrong, cuz I think my cousin's a Giants fan.
I like him better than I like B. Wright. See?
Yeah, him and Brian. But Brian, the Cowboys beat the Giants.
Yeah. On Monday night.
Yeah.
Monday night.
Brian was saying, Adrian, that he didn't hear no calls from you. He said you get in the church mouse.
See, I'm the same way. He ain't hear from me. But let the Cowboys lose this weekend. You'll hear from us. Me and Adrian gonna both call you.
Yeah, B. Wright's exact words was, cuz I don't call people when the
other
Cowboys wins. I don't call people and I don't ask nobody. And Adrian says, damn, be right and them Cowboys.
That's what I'm saying, Adrian. I'm with you when you're right, bro.
New York Giants for life.
Yeah, hey. Go team, go Big Blue.
I'm gonna call you tonight, dog, because I've been meaning to check on you. You
Big
guys
Blue.
remember from a couple of shows ago, my cousin Adrian is the father of a great local artist
Really?
that passed away a little while ago. Well, a few weeks ago, by the name of T Money. I don't have that T Money track right now, but God bless T Money. God bless the family.
R.I.P. T Money.
R.I.P. T Money.
R.I.P. T.
We're gonna make sure we get that track and put it in our system because I have to have it embedded into the system in order to rotate that. But that's who my cousin Adrian Williams is, the father of young, the late great T Money, who made a very prophetic song before he left. So shout out to T Money and the entire Williams family. Hey dog, I'm gonna holler at you. Mom, Corey, Pops, I'm gonna check on y'all. Make sure that this hurricane is subsided or blows right over you.
Yeah, and let's hope the sports is not going to be affected because we live for the sports. So
and speaking of sports, Adrian says Russell not looking good too.
No,
who Russell Wilson?
Russell Wilson. He's a Denver Bronco. He sucked. I think he got sacked 9 times on Sunday. I think he won the game. He got sacked 9 times and still won the game. I think.
I hope he ain't going home and getting distracted with Sierra.
If Sierra's doing it, you know, all the boys that caught in the yard, it's better than yours.
Getting distracted.
Yes.
Yeah. I'll tell you, man. You know, I'm not quick to give dudes these greatness titles or these.
Oh no.
You know, just like Pat Mahomes and.
Oh no, you heard it. Only thing Pat Mahomes earned was a big contract. He owns. You might as well say he owns part of Kansas City, and he also owns another team. They gave him shares to another team, so he's set for life. He got the biggest contract as a quarterback. He's set for life.
And may not never get another ring.
And may not never get because it's not easy to go back to the big dance. It's not. You know, it's nothing is guaranteed. Not even dance. The big show.
But yet, I'm from the city where they trade the greatest quarterback off the next year after a ring.
He was washed up. He was done.
But he got a ring right after.
He broke his neck.
You know how many players, before we go, what's funny about the Colts? How many players left the Colts?
Many. They got rid of
a ring after.
And went to bigger teams. Got bigger on different teams. Chris Chandler.
Got a ring.
Got a ring.
Yeah. Marshall Faulk. Tony
Saragusa. Yes. I was a member of Goose's gang. Yes, sir.
Peyton Manning, of course.
Of course. There was a few of them.
I'm tempted to say Eric Dickerson.
Well, he made a Hall of Fame runner. He got the Hall of Fame.
Did he get a ring?
I don't think he got a
else? Okay.
I don't think so.
Adrian says, as far as the Giants, we are playing Russian roulette every time.
Yes.
We get on the field with Daniel
Jones.
Quarterback.
Yes.
What's that about?
Daniel Jones is a quarterback that they got, and they still trying to feel him out. They gave him talent. They gave everything around him. They gave him a chance, but you know, he's slow coming across. But that win we got last week against I forget who it was, Adrian knows, that was promising. But now we're 2-1. So Adrian, you got a whole heart. We're 2-1 in the NFC East. So you know. There's not too many people, you know, buying the contention. So if we can cruise, the Giants will come out. But, you know, it's not the good old-fashioned New York Giants smash mouth football like it used to be. It's more a finesse game now with them. So we'll have to see. They're playing more finesse football. Yeah, you know. This is not your father's or your grandfather's New York Giants, where it's straight up take the ball, go down the throat, smash mouth. They're not those guys. They're doing more finance. No fight, you know.
Love you to death, hey dog.
Hey dog, you're my man. After this day, you and I got to get together and talk Giants football.
Sound like y'all dealing with a bunch of trash bags. I hope not. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, hey dog, let's get him, hey dog, let's get him.
And Cheryl Thomas says, okay, but I'm a die-hard Colts fan.
There you go, Mama. Tell him. Tell him stop talking about he calls them the JV squad, Mom. Tell him to stop.
She's the only Colts fan that I respect.
Really?
Her and her and my dad.
Really?
Yeah.
Dad's a Colts fan too?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
a Colts fan. They be walking around game day wearing
with the jerseys and everything.
Colts paraphernalia.
I love that. I love that people. I love those people. They see.
I try not to be embarrassed. They the only two Colts fans I respect.
The only two Colts fans, probably the only two Colts fans where they're at in Florida right now. Again,
No, Corey.
Corey, okay.
Corey and my brother Corey and my cousin Daryl, they totally embarrassed themselves wearing them jerseys that look like they went to the game.
Game worn jerseys, huh?
Yeah, man. Like, that was pretty embarrassing, man. I was embarrassed for them brothers.
No.
So,
Don't be embarrassed. Hey, we beat the Kansas City Chiefs on Sunday. We can hang our hat on that. Ain't that right, Corey and Adrian? Chime in. Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, the Colts can always hold this L.
That's okay. Yeah. Humble pie, baby. Humble pie. You wait. We got Matthew Stafford. Yeah. We got an experienced quarterback that's going to get us to the promised land. At least get us close.
All right, y'all. I love you too, Mom. Please, if you are new here or just tuning in,
tell your friend.
We're getting ready to go. Tell a friend or somebody of some kin about us. Go to the site. Watch the reservoir of information that we have. We now have some things categorized so that you can quickly get to some sections of information. We're constantly working to make the YouTube page better.
And please check out Kicks Casserole.
Yes.
Casserole in the house.
Jay, man. And Kicks Casserole can be found on Instagram.
They got you. They got you on Kicks Casserole. They got you.
Some new stuff in right now.
Yes, sir.
They got a couple pairs of those Jordan 6 Navies in that they was stuck with accidentally.
You got any Birkenstocks?
No. But they did have some. They sold them.
They sold them?
Did, yeah.
Okay.
I remember that those are women's flip-flops.
Guys slip sandals too. They
had the women's ones.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. So but you guys make sure that you like, subscribe, and share. All right. Omega name. Omega none rhymes greater. Love everybody. Thanks to everybody that came. Check us out. Crossfaded. Now they hating, they bad for how they played it. I'm just trying to make it, trying to hold my placement. Thanking God for the graces, watching for changing faces. Crossfaded, this is a special occasion. Subject's hot on occasion, and they hating laces. Crossfaded, I'm just shout out to Dolly Parton, my reign has just begun. I be crossfaded, 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 crossfaded. Well, you ready? Let's start the show.